Tornado warning now in effect until 9:30 for Fulton, Hickman, and South Central. Those are in Kentucky and South Central Mississippi County and Missouri. Again, large, confirmed, incredibly dangerous tornado near Tiptonville and Reelfoot Lake. This is moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. This storm will be near Hickman at 8:55, Cayce at around 9:05, Clinton at 9:10, and Fulgham at around 9:15. May also include areas of I-69 in Kentucky between mile markers 1 and 8, and that would be near the 9 o'clock hour. This is a very powerful, dangerous, life-threatening tornado that is in Tiptonville, Tennessee right now and is going to be moving off to the north. The hail size you see there on the screen, 1 inch. I have every reason to think that we probably have hail that's bigger than that, but we're certainly looking at hail of at least quarter size to possibly golf ball size hail. So I want to put a track on this. From Tiptonville, it is moving off to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. And I want you to watch where this thing goes next. So Hickman, 8:52. It's going to pass near or just north and northwest of Union City before 8:52. Cayce at 9 o'clock, Clinton possibly in the line of this storm at 9:06, Wingo at 9:19, and Mayfield at 9:27. Those are areas where we could see this storm have potential major impacts. It may deviate from its track just a little bit, but at this point in time, it looks like it's going to go in the direction of Hickman. So you guys really need to be finding shelter right now. You've got about 20 minutes. If you're in Hickman, if you're in any part of Fulton County in Kentucky, eastern sections of Hickman County, and into central Graves County. If you live in a mobile home, you need to be finding more substantial shelter now. If you've got friends or family in a nearby home, a sturdier structure, you guys have got to get to a safe place of shelter right now. Go ahead and make that trip, get to somewhere else. You do not want to be in a mobile home in the path of this storm. If you live in a home, get to the basement if you have one. Put as many walls between you and the outside as you can. And let's go down for a closer view of what is currently going on with this storm. This thing is an extremely powerful and dangerous tornado on the ground around Tiptonville, Tennessee right now. I cannot stress enough that we have not seen a tornado signature like this in our area in a long time. This is an extremely powerful storm that is likely causing tremendous damage right now around the Tiptonville area. Let's see, Mark, if we can, let's try out, I'm going to try going back to the green screen. I believe we've got that system reset. Source 2 is starting to stall. I'm going to go over to the wall. Noah stepped out to speak with some folks in the newsroom. Again, if you live in Tiptonville right now, headed over towards Samburg, this is an extremely dangerous situation for you right now. All right. So let's, and before I move out here, we've got a new tornado warning here in western Kentucky. Let's cover that real quick before we go back down into Tennessee. And also, for those of you in the boot heel, there's another storm that's coming right in the exact same track as the one that we're dealing with right now. Let me go over here and touch base on a new tornado warning that was just issued here in western Kentucky. This is a tornado warning for southern sections of Caldwell County, extreme northeastern sections of Trigg County, over into sections of Christian and Hopkins County. This is a radar indicated area of rotation. Crofton and St. Charles, you guys are included in that warning. Let me stop the radar here, and we'll put the velocity on. And there is some rotation right here. It's on the Caldwell and Christian County line. It's not particularly strong. Hopefully that's a good thing for us. But this thing is headed across Highway 109. It will pass near or just to the north of Crofton. So again, tornado warning there. At this point, that's a radar indicated area of rotation. We'll keep an eye on that. But right now, we've got a life-threatening situation here in northwest Tennessee and getting ready to move into western Kentucky. So we're going to go back down for a closer view of this storm, and we likely have a very powerful, dangerous tornado on the ground. We're going to go down for a closer view here and give you some street level mapping of where this is headed next. It's going to be going right along Highway 22. So if you live in Highway 22 in Obion County in Tennessee, it is extremely important that you take shelter right now. All right, let me go back here. Okay, did you take me out of play?
No, you should be good. You're good.
Okay.
Yeah, you should be in play. You're good. Is it not working?
The hand tracking stopped working on me. All right. We'll just kind of do this manually right now. Tremendous amount of lightning with this storm. And that is a signature of an extremely healthy and powerful, dangerous storm. And I cannot emphasize enough, I've been here 14 years. I don't think I've ever seen a radar signature that was as well defined as this one. This is just an incredibly dangerous situation that we've got going on here in northwest Tennessee. There is still a debris ball that's very evident on radar. It's just a couple miles to the east of Tiptonville, and it is continuing to move quickly off to the northeast. So it is around Samburg right now. Guys, if you live in Samburg, it's on top of you right now. Out ahead of this, where are we headed next? This storm is going to be tracking near Woodland Mills, Tennessee. So Union City, it looks like the worst of this is going to pass just to your northwest. If you live in Woodland Mills, you've got less than 5 minutes to get to a safe place of shelter, as this is a very dangerous, possibly life-threatening tornado. Don't say that to scare you, but there is a definite sense of urgency with this thing. It is very possible we're talking about potentially a strong EF3 type or above tornado. This thing has been on the ground now for, goodness, well over an hour. We've been getting reports of damage. Where is it heading next? Let me put a track on this. It's moving pretty quickly at 55 miles per hour. I'm going to track the part of this that is rotating.
We've got other tornadoes on the ground, Trent, coming in out of Arkansas.
Yeah.
Got the chat back up now.
So we've got Hickman. This thing is going to pass close enough to you guys that we're going to have to, we need to be taking shelter in Hickman. If you don't see the tornado, you will see hail, possibly between ping pong ball size hail. Not out of the question that we could have larger, close to golf ball size. You're at 853. Clinton at around 907, Wingo at 919, Mayfield, if this thing continues on this current path, it's going to get into central sections of Graves County, and that would be around 928 this evening. There are additional storms out there that we're watching closely. There is a tornado warning here for those of you over in Christian County, and this looks now like it is a stronger area of rotation, and it's getting ready to cross Highway 109. So those of you over toward Manning and up toward Nortonville, possible tornado here with area of rotation that's moving across, getting ready to move across the Christian and Hopkins County line in just a few moments. But really, really concerned about this storm that's coming up out of Tiptonville. It's currently near Samburg.
Trent,
It is, yeah.
this is not to this makes any difference, but this is an EF4 level debris that's been on there. The wind speed pixel now there is 135.
Yeah, I mean, this.
You zoom into that.
Guys, we just cannot emphasize enough how dangerous this storm is.
A couple things to share with you, Trent.
Yeah, go for it.
Got the chat back up. We have alleged fatalities and injuries at a nursing home in Craighead County, and building collapses near Mooring. This is all from the same tornado. So this has now produced significant damage. We've been telling you this for the better half of 40 minutes now, but this is coming in now that it's confirmed. We're getting this out. Roofs off, buildings destroyed, injuries, and unfortunately now it appears this tornado has done at least one fatality in its track over the past hour. If you want, maybe we can try to restart that to get it back again, or try it now.
Yeah, let's see.
We've been having some technical stuff, guys, behind the camera. Bear with us here.
Yeah, we're gonna have to restart.
I don't know how.
Let's go. Let's go back to source 2. If you don't mind to restart that for me, Mark, if you would. We're gonna go back over to Max 2. Looks like we've got that on. Okay. Okay, I gotcha. So right now, if you live in Old Fremont and Woodland Mills, life-threatening situation right now. Folks, we've got to get to a safe place of shelter. If you have friends, family that are there, make sure that they know there is a tornado on the ground. It is headed toward your area. Beyond that, in western Kentucky, Cayce, Moscow, Crutchfield, Fulton, Fulgham, Water Valley, Wingo, you guys are in the path of this storm. You guys have got to be taking shelter right now. If you live in central Graves County, if you live in eastern sections of Hickma County, Fulton County, you've got 20, 30 minutes. If you live in a mobile home, you have to go somewhere else. You cannot be in a mobile home in this storm. It is an extremely dangerous storm that we're dealing with here. Let me give you a track out ahead of this thing and let you know where it is going next. So tracking the rotation right now, moving to the northeast at about 55 miles per hour. And I'm going to track it way out here, okay? So, Hickman at 8:53, Cayce at 9 o'clock, Water Valley at 9:13, Mayfield at 9:27, Golo at 9:36, Benton, Kentucky at 9:47, about an hour from now. This thing has been on the ground for an hour. There's no reason to think that it's not going to continue on. This is an extremely rare, incredibly dangerous storm, long track tornado, and it is certainly possible that this thing could get up into central Graves County in 45 minutes and possibly into Marshall County within about an hour. So if you're watching from those areas, just be aware that you guys may come under a tornado warning here, possibly within the next half hour or so. But let's go back down for a street level view of this storm right now. And I'm telling you, this is just an incredible storm. I cannot emphasize enough how dangerous of a storm we're talking about here. Okay. Let's see if we can get the debris tracker going. It's having some. There's so much information that the radar is trying to process here. It's just having a real hard time. There is certainly still some indications that debris is being picked up here in between Samburg and Old Fremont. Basically right along and just south of Highway 22, there are signs of debris being picked up here on radar. and go back to the actual reflectivity here. You see that there is a hook, and this is a textbook example of what we would see during a tornado, headed toward Woodland Mills right now. You have any luck over there?
Getting some stuff in from people. Just keeping up with you here while you've been going on with the still getting in the Trent from Arkansas. Not that this changes the future impact, but when this was, it's just starting to now come out. I'm starting to see it. And by the way, not that this makes any difference to the coverage, we can now refer to this as a tri-state tornado. This has been on the ground now.
Just got a report.
3 states.
Just saw a report in 8:38. Samburg, Tennessee, the fire station took a direct hit, and people are trapped with damage. Again, Samburg fire station took a direct hit.
In your time here, Trent, compare this to something. I mean, this has to be above an E. I mean, the return is suggesting this is above an E of 4. I mean,
so
3 or
just
4.
Here's the thing. I don't know that it's a good idea to place a rating on this right now. But I will say that in 14 years here, I have not seen a storm that is as dangerous and powerful as this one. This tornado has been on the ground now, since back past Jonesboro, Arkansas. In fact, let me use our little measuring tool here and just kind of a rough estimate. I mean, I think it is certainly possible that this thing, I don't know if we're going to see a continuous damage track, but we've seen a strong signature of a tornado for over 100 miles now.
Wow. That's insane.
If that panned out to be true, we're talking about a historic tornado. We're talking about one that's going to go in the history books. I don't know if that's the case right now. That would just be speculation. I'm simply talking about that we've seen rotation for that long. But yeah, this is truly once in a generation type supercell storm. I have not seen anything that is this long lived and this powerful. So those of you in Tennessee right now, if you live in Woodland Mills, this storm is on top of you right now. Old Fremont, you see where the radar takes a hook. When we say hook, I'll draw this on here, if it'll let me. This is what we're talking about. That is where it's rain-free because everything is moving up. It's an updraft. It is a tornado. Woodland Mills, you guys you have to be in your safe place right now. Where's it headed next? It's going to cross the Kentucky-Tennessee state line. It's going to go across Highway 166 and Highway 125. It's going near Cayce, Moscow, and then Highway 51 that comes down toward Highway 1529, Highway 94, the intersection's there near Crutchfield, and over just to the north of Fulton, Kentucky. Water Valley. Then it will go near Fulgham and over toward Wingo along the Purchase Parkway and I-69. If it continues on this path, it will end up in central Graves County, possibly near the Mayfield area. So what's your timing on that? Let's put another track on that. We're going to put it, again, I'm going to track the rotating part of the storm off to the northeast at about 55 miles per hour. That's the current forward speed. So Cayce, we now have less than 10 minutes. What you're probably going to see in Cayce is some very heavy rain, maybe some hail. That's the very beginning of the storm. Then the rotating part is going to come up on the back side of the storm. Fulgham at around 9:12, Wingo at 9:19, Mayfield at 9:27, and then Benton, Kentucky at around 9:47. So it is incredibly possible that we could see the storm get into central Graves and central Marshall County. So just stay tuned as we continue to track this thing and keep your eye on it. But right now, just an incredible situation as this thing is getting ready to cross over into the Kentucky and Tennessee state line. Do you want to try things out at the wall just for a second, Noah?
Sure. And actually, Trent, I just was able to find this out to share with you. In Monette, Arkansas, Monette, 20 trapped, 5 injured, and unfortunately, as of now, 2 people have lost their life.
This was the nursing home?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we've got buildings that have been destroyed. Look, we've been talking about it. Trent's been telling you this for going on an hour now. This has produced damage, and I'm just starting to get caught up with the amount of damage that this has been doing. And we cannot stress enough, wind speed rating, that's irrelevant at this point. The messaging here is that this is a large and dangerous tornado that has now spanned 3 states. We have no indication that it will weaken anytime soon. If you're watching, as Trent has just told you, there's rain starting from Fulton to Clinton, Kentucky. If you're in Graves, we're putting you on warning. This is your early warning. Central Graves, start preparing now. If you have a bike helmet, if you have a baseball helmet, go get it out of the garage, park your cars in the garage in the Mayfield area, Western Graves, and just outside of Clinton. Again, there will be rain first, then if you're on the north side, as Trent has said, hail, and then the tornado on the southern side. We've had debris with this thing that has been lofted above 25,000 feet in the atmosphere. At the current moment, Union City, to be crystal clear, there is no threat. Woodland Mills. If you are in Woodland Mills right now, you need to be sheltered. Cover your head in your bathtub, put pillows over your head. This is the tornado going across over the Kentucky-Tennessee border. There's so many damage reports on this tornado, I can't even catch up with what's been going on. Very large hail on the northern side, but what I want to focus on right now for you is the debris, because that is how we're going to confirm where this is. We've had reports of actually, Trent, forgot to mention this from a few minutes ago, debris, I don't know if it's debris fallout. The debris got lofted so high in the atmosphere. The debris signature is not quite as clear right now. There it is. Boom, there you go. This is the tornado right there. That is a tornado. The lowering of the correlation coefficient, that tells us that is the tornado. It has been fluctuating, at least it's a little bit behind, but that is it. Let's zoom in and tell you street level where this is going. There are no stronger words to tell you. Woodland Mills, Tennessee, you've got a violent tornado right now, any minute now. Woodland Mills Road, this is going to cross over the state line into Kentucky. Let's move this up and get you caught up with more roads and parts of the area where this is going to pass right over. State Route 116W, tornado coming, 5 minutes. Off of 125, tornado coming. As we're getting into Cayce, Kentucky. Cayce, Kentucky, it's raining right now. In fact, the rain is going to stop. If you're watching in Cayce, let's zoom this out. Anywhere between 166-94, you need to be sheltered now. Where 239 intersects 94. This is your tornado, and it's coming right for you. Cayce, Kentucky. If you live or are watching, now is the time. If you're in a mobile home ahead of this, you must find and seek your place of shelter now. We've been talking about this all week, about how find your shelter. We told you this morning. Trent was in this morning. Know where you're going to go. Now is the time to be calm and to think about where you're going to go out ahead of this. That's the tornado. Cayce, where are you going to go? If you're in a mobile home, just to the south of Clinton, Fulton, Kentucky, anywhere on 307 right now, if you're watching right here, where are you going to go? Innermost room, bathroom, closet. You need to go there now. You've got about 5 minutes. Cayce, probably going to pass just to the south of Clinton. Fulton up next. Bigger picture, let's put a bigger view on this. Hickory, Fancy Farm, Mayfield, in that triangle of west central Graves. This is going to be about the approximate path of the tornado. That is it right there. Mayfield, it's coming for you in that area. Maybe not directly, we can't say that, but the point is Central Graves, folks, 30 to 45 minutes, this is going to be coming through. There's no reason to believe it won't. Let's do a quick deep dive into the velocity. Again, this tornado has now spanned 3 states in Trent. I can't even read some of the stuff that's on the internet now. There's been bad damage from this. Very bad damage reports. The velocity is so strong, Trent. I don't know if you want to weigh your opinion on this. I mean, there's so much going on in that small space. I mean, it's in there somewhere.
Yeah, I actually saw a photo, and I don't believe that we have the ability to use it. It was from a storm chaser in Arkansas. There were 2 tornadoes on the ground at the same time, back around Jonesboro. Wow. I'm pretty sure that was. Oh gosh, that was probably at least an hour ago, I believe. But I mean, this is likely a generational type thunderstorm. This is something that in 14 plus years, I have not seen a storm this powerful in our area. This is really, really, it is a life-threatening situation, friends. You know that you know my style, our style. We like to just shoot straight with you. If you are in Cayce, if you are in Fulton, Water Valley, Wingo, Fulton, Central and Southern Graves County, guys, this storm is not going to. It's going to keep going, and you've got to get into a safe place of shelter. Remember, if you live in a home with a basement, obviously that's the best place to go. If you live in a home, regular old ranch-style home, 2-story home, get to the lowest level, get to a hallway, closet, interior room, the smaller the better. Put as many walls between you and the outside as you can. If you live in Fulton, your time is almost up. If you live in Wingo, if you live in Central Graves County and you're in a mobile home, you cannot stay there tonight. You've got to go somewhere else. If this thing hits and you're in a mobile home, the mobile home will not make it. So you've got to get somewhere else. You need to go to a substantial building and get away from this thing if you're out ahead of it. That's why we're trying to give you so much lead time, even into central Marshall County, northern Callaway. Don't take a chance on it. Just go to a more sturdy building right now. This thing is on top of Cayce right now and is headed toward Fulton and just along Crutchfield, along 51. It's getting ready to cross Highway 51. There will be a dangerous tornado cross Highway 51 near the Hickman-Fulton County line, and it will then go over toward Fulton along 307.
Trent.
Oh my goodness.
Cayce, Kentucky. I mean, remember, this is delayed, what, about maybe 2 minutes?
Yeah.
So really, Cayce, this is on top of you. There is a violent tornado wrecking havoc right now in Cayce, Kentucky. This is showing behind Cayce, but that is an ugly radar return. I mean, it does not get, as we've been telling you now, there are no more words that we can tell you. This is the highest end of highest end tornado. It's in Cayce right now.
This is a catastrophic tornado. There is no doubt about it. We are talking about a tornado that will be one of the strongest to hit our area in the past number of years. This is what we're dealing with right now. If you have friends, family that are in the path of this storm, from Fulton to Water Valley and Wingo, cannot emphasize enough. You are talking about a life or death decision. If you live in a mobile home out ahead of this thing, you have to go somewhere else. If you do not take shelter, you are going to be in the path of a life-threatening tornado right now. This is just incredible. And again, if you live in central and southern Graves County, you're not under a tornado warning yet. You will be soon. You might as well treat it as if you are right now.
There's that track coming up for Graves. A lot of people, Trent, asking about McCracken and Paducah. Fair to say we can both agree we're good with this one in Paducah, in at least Paducah proper, no? Fair to say? I would think so.
Yeah, this storm is going to go south of Paducah.
So those of you wondering and watching in Paducah, Ballard, Massac, there is no threat to you. There is no threat to you from this. This is the track of the debris. Dublin, Fulgham, Hickory, Simpsonia. I'm going to leave the track on here while this will go away, but I want to zoom into some more roads and towns that are in the path, the direct path of what is going to be a remarkably bad tornado. 307, shelter now. Dublin, shelter now. Northwestern sides of Mayfield, heading north on 45. If you've got friends, coworkers, family that are at work right now in Mayfield or are trying to travel to Mayfield, you need to tell them to stop. This is a violent tornado that is going to cross over 45 on the north end of Mayfield. It is doing immense damage right now as we are speaking. Let's zoom this in a little more. Is it possible this could hook a little southeast? Remember, this is the path I just put on of that debris. Is it possible it could hook and hit Mayfield? Sure. There's no official warning yet, but Trent and I are giving you that warning. You need to be treating this right now. Hickory, 440 corridor down to Dublin. Heck, will include Fancy Farm. There might as well be a tornado warning for you right now. There's going to be shortly. This is continuing. Beyond that point, let's move this to the north. Bose, you're at play here. Simpsonia, 131. If you live between Hickory and Simpsonia off of 131, and eventually northwestern Marshall County, which already had that tornado warning earlier. Real quick, Trent, because I see behind me we have a new severe thunderstorm warning. We want to keep our attention, I think, on this tornado. Well, my gosh, man. But there's more coming. We've got our eye on this. Trent and I are going to do our best here to monitor both complexes. So that's a severe thunderstorm warning that's coming into Stoddard County that just got issued. That includes Sikeston. We'll be watching this if that turns tornadic, and also down into Arkansas. So those of you who just got hit by this coming out of Jonesboro, there's 2 more tornado warnings that are there right now. Let me move this back up and leave this with you here, Trent. We're keeping you in our, man.
All right, so here's what we're dealing with right now. Guys, this is a life-threatening tornado that's coming across the Hickman and Fulton County line right now. If you live on Highway 51, right along the county line, it's here. It's on top of you right now. You have to be in your place of shelter. Fulgham, down 307 toward Water Valley. This is going to cross your area momentarily. We are not talking about a small tornado. This is an extremely dangerous, catastrophic tornado that we're dealing with. I want to show you again the wind or the debris signature with this. You see this ball right here. There is zero doubt that we have incredible damage being done right now with this storm. The red shades is where the radar is seeing everything the same. The blue, that is where we have debris. That's where the radar is picking up all of the stuff that is being destroyed right now. And there is absolutely no doubt that this thing is going to continue to cause damage as it moves off to the northeast. I believe we've got a new warning, so let's go out and get you that information. We've been telling you about this now, and we're hearing...
Okay.
We're actually hearing the alarms here.
Okay, so I'll turn that off. So it's a new tornado, Trent. I'll give this to you here so you can read it. This does have the tag of PDS tornado warning. Would you like this? It does include the tip of McCracken. So real quick before Trent gives that to you, if you hear your warnings in McCracken, it's just because it includes part of the county. This is going to pass south of Paducah. This will pass south of Paducah.
Okay, so let me get you this information. Tornado warning until 9:45 for Graves and Marshall County in Kentucky. This includes Benton, Fair Dealing, Mayfield, and Simpsonia. Notice There is the possibility of nearly baseball-size hail on the north side of the storm. There is also, this is an observed tornado. It is a catastrophic tornado. This is the strongest tornado that I have seen in my time here in nearly 15 years. This thing is headed toward Mayfield at 9:30, Benton at 9:45. There is no stopping this thing. It is going to continue to move forward. This thing is incredibly well defined. This is one that you'd find in the textbooks. If you were looking for a hook echo, this is what you're going to look at. It's moving. Forward speed is still 55 miles per hour. So I want to give you a look at where it's headed next. And again, for those of you that are in McCracken County, you guys may have heard your phones go off, okay? If you're hearing the buzzing and the beeping of your phones right now, in McCracken County, we're okay. We are good in McCracken. What happened is that this polygon just kind of touched the border, and the way that those alerts, the wireless alerts on your phone, if any part of the county is affected, the whole county goes off. So we're good in McCracken. There's no need to worry with this storm right now. But the tornado is here near Cayce, Kentucky. It's moving to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. So Wingo at 9:19, Mayfield at 9:27, perhaps around Kirksey, Kentucky at 9:40, Benton at 9:46. Calvert City, I think we're probably going to be more in the hail threat with this storm if it ends up in your area. 9:54 for Calvert City. But listen, Mayfield, this is really, really serious. Now is your time to get to shelter. Do not wait any longer. There is no doubt that this storm is headed in our direction. It is producing a life-threatening, very destructive tornado. If you live in a mobile home in Mayfield, you have to get out of it. Get to a neighbor's house, a friend, a family member, and get to a home. Put as many walls between you and the outside as you can. Stay away from windows. If your kid plays ball, you got a bike helmet that you can put on, a baseball helmet. Get those. Maybe pull the mattress off of the bed. Put that over you as you take shelter in your hallway, closet, bathroom. Make sure that you've got some padding, blankets, anything that you can put between you and the outside to protect yourself. This storm is not going to go away. Let's go back to our velocity scan and go down for street level mapping again on where this is headed. I cannot emphasize enough how strong of a tornado this is. So right here, this is where we find the tornado. It is right along, it's just past Highway 51, and that happened about, let's put our distance here. It's currently about 4 miles southwest of Fulton. It just hit Cayce. It is going to hit near or just to the south of Fulton along 307. Fulton, Kentucky, you guys are, it's just to the north of you. You guys are going to end up being out of the direct path of the tornado. It is going to probably pass very close to Wingo or just to the north of Wingo. Wingo, it is way too close for comfort. You've got to be in your safe place right now. You go down here for a closer view. Do you have something new, Noah?
Damage coming out of Cayce just now.
Okay.
Damage coming
I'm
out of
sure
Cayce,
there's
which
significant
confirms that.
damage right now
Yes.
in Cayce. So the tornado right now is just in the north of Crutchfield. It is along, it's getting ready to hit 307 near Fulton. So where is it going next? Let's do some movement here on the camera. Just to the north or just to the south of Fulton. It will likely cross the county line into Graves County, very close to Highway 58 and over toward the Purchase Parkway. It is likely going to go along the Purchase Parkway or I-69 in between Wingo and Mayfield over about the next perhaps 10 minutes or so. So we'll zoom back out here. I do want to make sure that we cover all of our bases. There are other storms in the area, but this one certainly is the one that is just I just cannot emphasize enough how powerful this tornado is. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning out in Tennessee, or in Missouri rather, Dexter and over toward Malden, certainly some areas of very strong winds. But if you're in central Graves County and if you're in central Marshall County, you have to get to shelter right now. Let me go back down for a closer view, and I want to see how our debris tracker is looking.
Ugh.
I mean, this is just a gigantic area of debris that's being picked up here. This is the worst of it. This is really kind of mind-blowing here. I mean, we are talking about a very high-end tornado. It would not be, I don't think it would be wise to give it a rating, but we're not talking about, an EF1. This is an EF3, 4. This is it. This is the storm that we're going to be talking about for years in our area, okay? That's what we're dealing with. Mayfield, Wingo, we've got to get to shelter right now. This storm has had a signature of a tornado on it for over 100 miles. I don't know that it's had a continuous track of damage for that long, but it has shown signs of being a powerful tornado for nearly or over 100 miles. This is one that is just simply going to be a historic tornado in our area. Cannot emphasize that enough. Let's, again, kind of give you a track here. I want to make sure that we've got our timing down here on when we have until this storm hits. So we're going to zoom out here, and again, for our friends in Mayfield, central Graves County, you're right directly in the path of this thing. Let's do this. I want to put a loop on it so that we make sure that we have the exact correct motion on the storm. So you see it came up here over Woodland Mills, Cayce, and I mean it's going directly toward Mayfield, guys, and the time is getting closer for us. So let's put our, actually let's go back, we'll do a cone track on this at 55 miles per hour. So it is going to be moving up into sections of central Graves County, Mayfield. Again, we're talking about 9:27 approximate arrival time. It is now 9:13. We've got 14 minutes until a very powerful, catastrophic tornado is in or around the Mayfield area. Golo at 9:36, Benton at 9:48. And if you draw a line from where this storm is now to Mayfield to Benton, it is very possible that it tracks exactly in that line. So Benton, 9:48, Central Marshall County, right now things are not too bad for you. Within the next half hour, we could be talking about a life-altering tornado. You've got to get to shelter. If you're in a mobile home in Central Marshall County, go somewhere else now. Don't wait any longer because it will be too dangerous to be out on the roadways. If you're in central Graves County, you need to be sheltering in place where you are. This thing is moving at 55 miles per hour and it's on the county line. Calvert City, you guys in the track at 9:56, we're probably talking about the hail threat in Calvert City. And I don't want to forget about the hail threat. Again, let me go back to regular radar. And within the part of the storm that's just to the north of the rotation and the tornado, there is the potential for up to golf ball to baseball size hail. And that is possible around Fancy Farm and just south. It's going to be north of Mayfield along Highway 45 up toward Hickory, over toward the state police station over there, Fancy Farm, and point southward. Now's the time. Let's go ahead and get that car in the garage and cover that up, because this is not hail that we want to mess with. We're talking about potentially, again, up to baseball-size hail with this thing. Radar's it's having a hard time picking up on the hail size, but I want you to look here south of Fulton. And again, and this is something that, quite honestly, I haven't seen here before. This is something that it's beyond what we have tracked in our area before. This purple right here is a debris ball. It is where stuff is being lifted up into the atmosphere 20, 25, 30,000 feet in the air. It's trees, it's homes, vehicles, and it is going right for central sections of Graves County. There is zero doubt that we have a very catastrophic tornado ongoing right there. Let me zoom down here. It's going to be awfully hard to get a real accurate reading on exactly how big of a storm we're talking about. If you measure this debris ball, we may be looking at a 1 mile wide tornado here. That's the reality of what we're dealing with right now. It is not out of the question that this is a high-end EF4, maybe higher type tornado, a mile wide possibly. Bethel Road is where we find the debris ball right now. I'm going to have to step out of the frame to be able to see some of these roads here. It is probably crossing Simmons Road, 58, Highway 58, over toward Levy Road and Holyfield Cemetery Road, State Route 944, and crossing State Route 1283 here momentarily. Let me zoom out just a bit here. This is the storm, and this thing is by itself. It is in a perfect environment to continue to go, to continue to spin, to continue to produce a tornado. There is nothing impeding its progress. It's going to continue to draw in that unseasonably warm, humid air. Just got a brand new radar scan, and here is our debris signature right now. It is on Highway 58. Go back down for a street level view here, and it is right along State Route 3061. It will cross and go basically parallel to Highway 58 near Holyfield Church Road, Baltimore Church Road, Sellers Road here in Graves County. Let's go a little bit farther to the east here. And this thing, again, it's going to go really more kind of to the northeast. It's going basically in this direction, all right? So Folks School Road, it will continue to track. You see how 58 kind of takes a little bit of a northeasterly turn. It's going to go along that track. Calvary Church Road, that's where it will intersect with the Purchase Parkway, where the Highway 58 intersects with and merges with I-69, Highway 45. That's over just to the north, I believe, of Wingo. Let's go back out here, a little bit wider perspective. Yeah, so it's going to get, I believe, let me put this in motion here. Okay.
Yep.
So it's going to go likely just to the north of Wingo. But right now, Mayfield guys, we're directly in the path of this thing. I cannot tell you with any greater urgency, you've got to get to your safe place now in Mayfield. Area-wide, the whole city. Get to your basement, get to your hallway, closet, as many walls between you and the outside as you can. Baseball helmet, football helmet, get those on. Make sure that you've got, pull out some pillows, blankets, mattress, get those over your head, put some padding between you and the walls. The time is up. You cannot be out on the road at this point in Mayfield. It's too late to start going somewhere else. If you're in Marshall County, you've got time to get to a more substantial shelter, but your time is running out there. There's going to be some very large hail from Fancy Farm over toward Hickory, northern sections of Graves County. You guys may see up to baseball-size hail with this storm. Just incredible winds with this thing. I mean, we're talking about the potential of winds well over 150 miles per hour or greater with this tornado. And we'll go down for a little bit closer view of where the strongest rotation is, and it looks like it is just north of Wingo. It is right here. It is incredibly well defined. So it is headed over toward Macedonia Church Road. It is getting ready to head on I-69. Do not travel on I-69 right now. The Purchase Parkway in Graves County, get off the road. If you've got friends, family that may be traveling there, call them, tell them, get out, get away from this thing. If you happen to have folks that are on the roadway, maybe if you're watching on your phone and you're driving here and if you can't get out of the path, park, get into a ditch, get as low as you possibly can out of your vehicle. And if that's worst case scenario, if you're out on the road here on I-69, we really hope that that's not the case with anybody. But if that's what you're dealing with, that's where you got to go. Let's put this. Let me loop this again here. Noah, y'all have any luck on reports or anything? You want to give me a quick update on what you're seeing?
So a couple other things, Trent. We actually have three new severe thunderstorm warnings.
Okay.
That there's actually a whole complex of storms forming. Since you've been talking about this for Mayfield, we've got, Kaylee, can you pass that to me? With severe thunderstorm warning, which
hey,
includes
guys, make this really brief because we got to get back over to Marshall.
Essentially all of southeast Missouri, but we're going to stick with Mayfield. If you're in Mayfield, I want to focus just on real quick. I'll give you 30 seconds of the safety. Trent will go back and do the radar. Cover your helmet. Cover your head. The majority of tornado injuries and fatalities occur from blunt force trauma. Mayfield, Kentucky. It's 9:23. In 2 to 6 minutes, there will be a destructive tornado in Mayfield, Kentucky. Do not wait. Do not wait. Take immediate shelter now. I've got our debris tracker pulled up on a bigger view here, Trent, so you can see it. Take a look at that lowering of the blue, paralleling the Purchase Parkway.
Yeah. Hey,
That's
were you guys going to cover that? Give us the rundown real quick on that severe thunderstorm warning if you can.
So the severe thunderstorm warning is for Union, Pulaski, Johnson, parts of Ballard, Mississippi, Cayce counties in Missouri, far west Kentucky, and southeast Missouri. Rest assured, there's a lot of very strong winds and lightning developing now. There is no other imminent rotation on radar in our area. So everybody else watching this, if you're concerned, this is the only immediate. I've been keeping an eye on it. It's possible we could have another tornado after this coming out of Arkansas, but for right here and right now, Trent,
what do we have? What do we have as far as actual damage reports from the chat? Do you have anything on that specifically?
Most of Cayce and parts of the county without power.
Okay.
Amateur radio reports damage to a cafe and the fire department. That was from the tornado.
In Cayce?
Yeah.
Okay.
People in the chat saying that they can't get in touch with people in the path because there's no power or cell service.
Okay.
So the point here is this has been doing damage since it's been in Arkansas. It did damage in Missouri. It's done damage now in Kentucky. And there was no reason to believe this is not going to continue to do damage. Mark, if you want to pull up weather 2 real quick, Trent, we can both look at this. This is the tornado right here. That is it.
Yeah, it's on the Purchase Parkway right now.
Now, focus on what we're telling you. Cover your head in a bathtub. Lay down in your bathtub, innermost room. Take the kids with you. You must be there now. Listen to us. Turn up the volume on your TV. If you're listening to us on your phone, stay sheltered. Mayfield, do not go to a window. Do not be walking around your home. Do not be trying to look outside. You must be sheltered immediately. The next 5 minutes are going to be very rough in Mayfield. Okay. Very, very rough.
Hey, head back over to one real quick here. I want to kind of let's turn back over to the regular radar because I want to see if our debris ball is staying with us, and it is. Okay. Mayfield, guys. Listen, this thing is coming up. It is on I-69 right now. Macedonia Church Road. That may very well be a mile-wide debris signature. It's coming up into Mayfield, okay? So, where are we talking about? Let's get some of the locations plotted on here, okay? So, it's going to come right up the Purchase Parkway. It's going to come over onto the west side of town first. So western side of Mayfield, we're talking over toward the high school.
107-mile-per-hour gust just now at the Graves County Mesonet.
Okay.
Just came in.
Graves County Mesonet, and I believe that's actually just outside of Mayfield. Okay, so we've had a 107-mile-per-hour gust outside of this, okay? We're talking about over 100-mile-per-hour winds, easily over 100-mile-per-hour winds. It is coming up into Mayfield right now. North, south side, doesn't matter. Every part of Mayfield, you have to be in your shelter now. If you live out toward Mayfield High School, you're going to get hit first up toward the north side of town. You guys will get hit next. You have to assume that this is going to cut a large damage path across town. Hopefully, by some miracle, it decides to do something else. But at this point in time, we have to assume that this thing is going to do catastrophic damage around the Mayfield area. Do we happen to has the National Weather Service gone with a tornado emergency by chance?
No, as far as I can see, this is still PDS, particularly dangerous situation, with the catastrophic tag. So everything that we've been echoing for the past several minutes. Okay,
so we're talking about, again, catastrophic damage with this. Yeah, so this is our brand new tornado warning till 10:15 for Graves County. Mayfield, expect catastrophic damage and 2.5-inch size hail. The debris ball is now coming into Mayfield. Send some prayers to Mayfield right now. Let's keep our friends in prayers across the area right now, and especially in Graves County. This is going to be a bad deal for us, okay? Where's it headed next? It's going to go right up Highway 58, northeast of Mayfield. So let's go down here and zoom in and track where this is going to go next. I mean, guys, this is it. This is the storm, Mayfield. It's right on track. We said about 927, 928. It's there. Next in line, it's going to go up 131 and 58. It's going to stay for a few minutes just to the south of I-69. As you get past, I believe this is exit 25 here, as you get up into Marshall County, it's very possible that this thing is going to go just along or south of I-69 again. So between Highway 58 and 69 here, that's where it is headed next. And from there, some of the roads we're talking about, Cherry Drive, Bird Road, Dave Miller Road, Wadesboro Road, Harrison Road, Tom Prather Church Road, just to name a few. And again, this is out ahead of this storm as it continues to head off to the northeast and up into Marshall County here in just a little bit. But a catastrophic tornado likely ongoing right now in Mayfield. You're going to lose power. If you do lose power, if you have the ability to take your phone with you, if you're able to still get a signal, we'll continue to stream live, of course, on Facebook Live. Hickory, up into the northern sections of Graves County, we're probably dealing with possibly baseball-size hail, and that may actually be the case up toward the Simpsonia area. I do want to zoom out enough to give us kind of a wider perspective of what's going on, because we did hear some thunder and lightning around the station. And just a real quick reminder, we do have some other severe thunderstorm warnings.
Emergency.
We do have a tornado, obviously a tornado emergency now from, is it just Mayfield?
It's a small, just right in the center of Mayfield, right over the center part of Graves.
Yeah, so tornado emergency there in Graves County for the Mayfield area. I did want to make mention here, just real quick, some of our severe thunderstorm warnings. Let's go back to the winds and move our camera back around. I don't want to forget about these, but you know, compared to what's going on in Mayfield right now, lesser concern. We have severe thunderstorm warnings here in Southern Illinois and parts of Missouri, Alexander, Johnson, Pulaski, Union County for 60-mile-per-hour winds and 3/4 inch hail. That's till 10 o'clock. this evening. Let's go back down here for central Graves County and up into Marshall County and track this where it's headed next. Unfortunately, we have likely a catastrophic tornado that is in Mayfield right now. Lives are being changed right now. Send some prayers for folks that are dealing with this right now. And let's see where this is headed next. It still has a forward speed of 55 miles per hour. We're going to have to zoom this out so we get a better track on it. And we'll track the portion of the storm here that is rotating off to the northeast, again, 55 miles per hour. So, Benton, you guys are going to be directly in the path of this thing at 9:46. It's 9:31 right now. 15 minutes from now, catastrophic tornado that's in Benton, very well, or in Mayfield, may very well be on top of you in Benton, 9:46. Simpsonia at 9:38. You guys are going to be more in the hail core of this storm. We're talking about possibly up to baseball-size hail in Simpsonia. Catawba, you guys are going to be in the path of this at 10:04. Eddyville at 10:09 and Princeton at 10:21. This is a tornado that's been on the ground now. Well, we have every reason to believe that it has been on the ground for over 100 miles. This is a once-in-a-generation tornado that is moving across Graves County right now, getting ready to head into Marshall County. This is a storm that will be talked about for years in our area, okay? We cannot mess around with this in Marshall County. You guys have got to get to your safe place of shelter right now. I'm sure the newsroom folks are working on what's going on here. This tornado now looks like it is to the northeast of Mayfield, where you see the blues and the bright reds. Right here, this is the center of the tornado. So it is along 58. It is going to go parallel to I-69, moving up across eastern sections of Graves County, and it's getting ready to cross over into Marshall County. So it will do that in the next 5 minutes or so, and I'm going to try to read off some of these highways that are in the path. So it's currently near Highway 58, close to Dave Miller Road. It's going to go across Wadesboro Road, County Line Road, Harrison Road, looks like Van Zora Road, and it will go, as it moves to the northeast, it's going to stay just to the south, right along or just south of I-69. It will eventually intersect back over to Highway 58, close to the Wadesboro Road area. You guys have anything new as far as damage or any new information?
A lot of power outages, Fulton, Hickman counties. There's a lot of people saying on the chat that they've lost power in Mayfield, as we would expect.
Okay.
We've got roofs that have been taken off, Trent, that's been coming in. And we had a few people say that they saw the tornado in our feed coming, that they saw and have been hit in Mayfield.
Okay.
The few that are still on here that are commenting.
And you know, the thing is, you know, with as powerful as this storm is, the last priority for folks is going to be telling us what happened. They're going to be trying to take care of their stuff, and so we may have a hard time getting reports here for a little bit. But if you look at radar, it's very evident what's going on here. Let me zoom out again. And here's our debris ball. I'm telling you, this is the most remarkable, destructive tornado that I have seen around here I've lived here for 40 years. I have not seen one like this before. And unfortunately, it just went across Mayfield. Is right on I-69 right now. If you have anybody driving on I-69 right now in eastern Graves County into Marshall County, got to tell them to at this point in time, if you can't get off the road in the next couple of minutes in Marshall County, get to the ditch. Do not go to an overpass. That's the worst place you can go. Get as low as you can into a ditch and get as low as you can. Abandon your vehicle, get away from it, get into a ditch, but hopefully folks are inside and not having to deal with that tonight. But this thing is going right along 69. Let me loop this. Over the past hour or so, we'll go out for a wider perspective so we really get an idea of where it's been going. All right, so here it was. It came up the Purchase Parkway, went across Mayfield, and it's now here. Okay, Benton, you guys are next. And watch where it went. Let me draw this on here for you. Okay, it was in Mayfield. It's here now. It's going to be here next. Benton, you guys have got to get to shelter. I know it's raining right now. That's not it. This is not the storm. This is the tornado. Let's put a distance line on here for you. The current debris ball is about 10 miles southwest of Benton. So this thing is headed directly for Benton and central sections of Marshall County. This is your time to get to the basement, interior hallway, closet. Get as many walls between you as you can and the outside, away from windows. Get your helmets on. Take the phone with you. Don't worry about staying in front of your TV. Do not try to go outside and see if you can see this thing. It's dark. It's headed your way. We see it on radar. There's no doubt about it. It's been causing damage now for well over 2 hours, all the way back in Arkansas. Get to your safe place of shelter in Marshall County. We have got to be ready for this thing. A life-threatening, life-altering tornado is going to go right along I-69 into Benton in the next 15 minutes. All right? Let's stop this real quick. This debris ball is very clear, but I want to draw our debris tracker on here. And, you know, I think probably what we're seeing, the radar from Paducah, you see the spin up there past our Local 6 logo, it's having to cut through a whole bunch of rain and hail, and it might make it a little tough to detect what's going on in here. But I mean, this speaks for itself. This is our debris ball, and it is headed toward the Benton area. It will be around Benton at 9:45, and areas west of Benton before that. So let's go down here for a closer view. And guys, if you all see anything at all as far as reports of damage, let us know. Let me know here. But this thing right now is just south of River Road. It's going to be going right along I-69, again, around Van Zora Road, Hauser Road, and getting up pretty close to Wadesboro Road here in just the next few minutes. Do we have anything new as far as reports on Facebook or the chat?
Not much new, just the massive TDS. Power outages galore. The wind gust, which if you're just joining us, over 107 miles an hour, that was at the Graves County Mesonet. That was actually probably the wind, we call that the forward flank downdraft. That was probably the wind before the actual tornado. So the wind in the tornado was probably over that. We had 107 mile per hour gusts recorded there. But Trent, it consistent with everything we've been saying, everything you've been saying. Power outages, people have been saying they've been hearing a loud noise coming, which is exactly what you'd expect. You may hear it coming. It will be very quick. It's not going to last for 5 or 6 minutes. It will hit you very briefly and very hard. But we're kind of in a lull right now because I feel like a lot of people might be with the power outages. We're going on Facebook. We keep reminding people, take the phone, take your iPad with you to your shelter. We're going to stay here with you. We're going to talk you through this. We're going to get you through this. But
looks like a new warning here.
Yeah, so that is a PDS, particularly dangerous situation tornado warning, that will go through That's going to go until
10:30.
10:30.
Let me zoom this out. Let me get the whole warning in here and show you. Goodness, this is a huge warning. Okay, hold on. Let me zoom back out again.
While you're doing that, Trent, remind people, don't forget your kids, your pets. If you're far enough out in advance of this, if you don't have a basement, innermost room, don't just stand there. If you're in Benton in a bathroom, take some blankets with you, maybe cover over your head, protect your head. Like we've been saying too, we haven't said this in a hot minute. If you're in a mobile home in Benton or further northeast, you need to leave and find and go to your place of shelter. We've been telling you now all week and all day. So if you're in a mobile home south of Grand Rivers in Benton through northeastern Marshall County, now is your time to act.
Okay, so our new tornado warning now, just to get the official info here. This tornado is now in Marshall County, in the western sections of Marshall County. Marshall County, up into the extreme, very southeastern corner of Livingston County, up toward the Grand Rivers area, over into Lyon County. Tornado warning until 10:30. Benton, Eddyville, Grand Rivers, and Catawba. Possible 2-inch size hail, so we're talking about golf ball to close to baseball size, and an observed tornado doing considerable damage. That is what this tornado warning is for. This thing is very close to Benton right now, so let's go in here for a zoom. Hey, would one of you, if you guys don't mind, would one of you all check with the newsroom and see if we've got anybody headed down toward Mayfield or where we've got folks that are headed to cover this? So right here is our rotation. It's currently right along 69, I-69, Oak Level Road, Wadesboro Road, and Hauser Road, and it is now just a few miles away from the Benton area. So possible tornado here. It's roughly 5 to 6 miles west-southwest of Benton. Guys, our time in Benton, it's almost up as far as taking shelter from this thing. Here's our debris ball right there. Debris ball has been as large as nearly a mile wide at times with this. Let me give you a new track on it. It's been a little bit since we put a track on this thing, and so we'll zoom out and give you a look at where it is headed next. And we'll probably have to move the camera around just a little bit. Zoom this out just a little bit more. We've got a lot of territory that we have to cover. This thing is really just moving incredibly fast. So from right here, the rotating part of the storm moving to the northeast at 55 miles per hour, and that is going to put it, Benton, we've got 4 minutes, less than 4 minutes. Eddyville at 10:11, Princeton at 10:21, Dawson Springs at 10:33, and Providence at around 10:40. That's going to be the kind of taking the storm out of the local 6 area. But again, Benton, guys, it's here, it's time. You guys are going to have to make sure that you're in your safe place immediately in Benton, Kentucky, as this is a destructive, powerful tornado that is likely still on the ground, still doing damage. All indications are that this little circle right here is debris that has been being picked up from the storm and is being circulated around the tornado.
Getting reports, Trent, that communications down with KSP and for people in Graves. So as soon as we get an update from that between the newsroom, we'll pass that along to you.
Okay.
But
and now we have a tornado emergency now for Benton.
Yep.
All right, so we've got the catastrophic tag, catastrophic tornado now headed toward Benton, Kentucky, 9:45. This thing is right on schedule. Let me get that readout. Confirmed large destructive tornado near Benton, moving northeast now at 60 miles per hour. It is speeding up. This is a deadly tornado. This tornado has caused fatalities we know of back in Arkansas. We have no idea what has happened across our area as it's moved across western Kentucky. This is a life-threatening situation. Flying debris could be deadly to those caught without shelter. This tornado is going to move through Benton and then across Marshall County. It's going to pass I-69 between mile markers 38 and 46. All right, again, tornado emergency for Benton. Tornado emergency, we haven't had one of these around here. What that means is it's the next level above a tornado warning. It means there is a tornado, it's on the ground, it's doing damage, it's coming into Benton right now. So it looks like, as we put a loop on here, if you live on the north side of Benton, that's going to be where we have some of the greater damage from this thing. Up toward Draftonville. You guys are going to be in the path of this, but it looks like right now it's going to come more across the north side of Benton, 348 and 641 right around Elm Street. You guys are going to be in the path of this thing. Let me stop the radar here. And zoom our camera back out just a little bit. All right, so Draftonville is here. It looks like the circulation is going to pass south of Draftonville. You guys are likely getting slammed with some very heavy rain and probably some hail from Draftonville up toward Palma and over toward Sharp. You guys are kind of on the tail end of this thing in Sharp, over toward Bryansburg and Little Bear. Lots and lots of rain and hail for you. The tornado is actually in the city of Benton. It's going to be coming right across the middle of town and the north side of town. Just south of town, way too close for comfort. Get to your safe place of shelter now there. All right, new radar scan, and there it is. It's right on the northern side of town, debris ball on 348, getting ready to cross Highway 69. And we're talking about Old Simpsonia Road, crossing 69, again between mile marker 38 and 46. Then it will cross 641 just north of Benton. It then goes, zoom back out. Once it crosses 641, it will then go over toward Benton Bryansburg Road and Benton Birmingham Road, eventually crossing Highway 68. And this is going to be out in some pretty rural area, but between Doty Avenue, Billy Henson Road, and then Big Bear Highway. This is Big Bear Highway, so if you're familiar with that area, leading out toward the lake and toward some of the resort areas there. This tornado could end up very near Big Bear Highway. All right, let's zoom back out here. And tornado emergency here again for Benton, Kentucky, and central sections of Marshall County. Catastrophic tornado now crossing I-69 just north of Benton. It's going right in between Draftonville and Benton. It is headed up toward Buena Vista. You guys are next in line for this storm. And while we keep an eye on that, I'm trying to get a few bearings here on some of the locations that are going to be impacted here by this. So it looks like Bryansburg, you guys are in the path. And we're talking about, Buena Vista, that's over toward Moores Camp Highway, Moores Resort possibly in the path of this. It looks like we also maybe have a couple of new warnings. Let me zoom this out. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning from McCracken County. Want to go ahead and get to that real quick. Let's kind of go back out. Big picture view, all right? We're not done, guys. This is just This is just the beginning. We've got another line here. There's another line back to the west. We have a tornado watch that runs until 11 o'clock and likely will be extended. Let me give you a look at the new severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect. We need to zoom back in. This is a pretty large area with a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect now for McCracken County. This is not a tornado warning. It's a severe thunderstorm warning for Ballard, Carlisle, Massac, and McCracken. That includes Brookport, La Center, Metropolis, Vienna. This is for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and hail possibly up to 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Normally, we would, let's take a quick look at the velocities here. Yes, there are some strong winds here. You see that Paducah is also included in that warning. Some strong gusty winds, certainly possible there, but right now, of course, we continue to focus here on the Marshall County storm. I do want to make mention one time here as well that for folks down in the Boot Heel of Missouri, we already have been hit, and there are more tornado warnings here. At this point in the game, these do not look like anywhere near as intense.
New tornado warning for their Trent.
Yeah, and new tornado warnings here in Tennessee. Let me give you that information real quick. So brand new tornado warning till 10:30 for folks in Pemiscot, Southern Lake, Northern Dyer, including Dyersburg, and southwestern sections of Obion County. That's going to include Caruthersville and Dyersburg. Hail size up to an inch in diameter. This is a radar indicated area of rotation. We have not had anything confirmed with this particular storm. So I wanted to make mention of that and give you an idea of just what we're dealing with there. But we've got to go back over to Marshall County right now because this is the storm that has a tornado warning on it. It's done incredible damage, catastrophic tornado here, and it is still on the ground. Noah, do you have any new reports or anything coming in to the chat, Facebook?
So we've got a crew. We've got Jack Kane and Justin Jones going to Mayfield. They're on their way. We're getting reports of emergency vehicles going to Mayfield and major damage reported in Mayfield.
Okay.
Other than the major damage, Trent, that's what we're just starting to get out from the folks in Mayfield.
And you know, the thing is, it's going to take a long time to get specifics because you know, we've got folks that are that have just gone through a life-changing situation here. This storm currently is just to the southeast of Draftonville along 68. It is headed toward Buena Vista. So we're talking about out pretty close to Christian Fellowship School, perhaps, just to the south. It's very close, just to the southeast of Marshall County High School. Zoom back in here. And this thing has kind of gone through some cycles. It is now going through another upward cycle. It's kind of taken a little bit more of a north turn. And Draftonville, we are seeing some real heavy wind right now. And let me move the camera around here just a little bit. Again, the tornado warning, a tornado emergency for central Marshall County. It's just south of Tatumsville, just to the east of Bryonsburg, and it's headed over toward Moore's Camp. Okay, Moore's Camp Highway is right here. Buena Vista, that's where we find our resorts. We've got a lot of emergency vehicles apparently headed out toward Mayfield right now. And goodness, yeah, this is headed right toward the resort areas. Rocky Point, over toward the moors. We got hit hard, not too long ago. I think right now it looks like it may hopefully go a little bit farther north of that. But again, this is still this is a catastrophic situation. There's our debris ball. Let's move this around so I get a little bit better view. Here's Moore's Camp Highway, Denzel Martin Road. And this is just, it's huge. this debris ball measures a mile wide. We very well may still have a mile wide tornado in progress here in Marshall County. I just cannot believe that this thing is still going. And it is just, this is a once in a generation storm. We're going to be talking about this thing for decades. Here's Moores Camp Highway and Buena Vista. This is the lake. Here's Little Bear Highway, Steamboat Road. Anywhere in this area, we've got to be in our safe place right now. The velocity scan, I mean, it's just incredible winds here. Winds are off the chart with some of this. Wind speeds here, 72 miles per. Trust me, the wind is way higher than 81 miles per hour in some of these areas. This is just the inbound and the outbound wind, and right in the middle is where we find the tornado. All right, let's zoom this out just a little bit. Okay, here's our new debris ball. It is just right over Moores Camp Highway here, getting ready to head out toward, it's going to be real close to Moores Resort. Real close. I don't know that we're going to take a direct hit, but it's going to be awfully close. The tornado has passed Draftonville and Benton. Zoom this out just a bit. It's going to go across the lakes, and then it's going to come out on the other side, perhaps over pretty close to Hillman Ferry, and maybe close to the Birmingham Ferry. Anywhere between Hillman Ferry, Birmingham Ferry, those areas on the other side of the lake are in the path of this next. Hey guys, real quick, Kaylee, I saw you head to the newsroom. Do you have anything new that's going on over there? Okay.
Yeah, Trent, we have a couple photos that we're getting ready to upload right now. We are having multiple crews coming in. We're going to have some reports from them later on tonight.
Okay.
Do you have the feed pulled up, the Facebook feed? Something maybe a lot of people are asking, clarifying about literally what they should be doing when they're, I know we've said it a lot, but just trying to reiterate what you literally should be doing.
Okay.
I know we say shelter, but maybe.
If you are out ahead of this right now, if you live near Moores Camp Highway, Buena Vista, Little Bear Highway, and then across the lake over toward Pigsa Point, it's getting ready to move over LBL. It's getting ready to move over some very rural area, which is good news because we need a break from this thing going over populated areas. But if you live out ahead of this thing, basement if you have one, interior hallway or closet, put as many walls between you and the outside as you can. If you have something that you can put over your head, a helmet of some sort, put a mattress over where you're taking shelter, pillows, blankets, anything to provide padding, shelter, do that. Just stay away from windows, stay away from exterior walls as low as you can. If you're in a mobile home out on the other side of the lake, if you live over toward Lake Barkley, if you live in a mobile home, you've got to get out of it. Let's zoom out here just a little bit so I can get perspective. And you still see we've got a very well-defined debris ball right here along the resort area of the lake. This thing is getting ready to head across the lake. It's going to go likely just northwest of Lamasco. So if you live along I-24 here, in between Eddyville and Lamasco, if you're here, if you live in a mobile home, go somewhere else. Get out of the mobile home. You've still got a few minutes. You've got 15, 20 minutes. Get to a friend, family members, neighbors, where we have more substantial shelter. You cannot be in a mobile home in this storm. It will not survive. Get to an interior hallway or closet. Get as low as you can. This thing will eventually cross I-24. If you have anyone that's traveling on I-24 between Grand Rivers, Eddyville, if they're headed toward Nashville, if they're passing through Grand Rivers, Eddyville, going that direction right now, got to get them off the road. Tell them to get to shelter. You cannot be out on I-24 right now. You said you do have some photos for us? Okay.
Mark, you can pull up weather 2 full for us. Trent, we just got this in a couple of minutes ago. Kaylee,
Okay.
we got this in 5 minutes ago.
Wow.
That from Jennifer. I believe I was trying to piece together. I think that's 45. I can't tell.
Yeah, it's
I
hard
think
to
it might
tell
have been
location.
45, but that is, we confirmed that is in from Mayfield, which would have been about 25 to 30 minutes ago.
I mean, that is a huge tornado. I don't know how, I assume that was from a pretty far distance, and if it was,
I zoomed it in quite a bit, yeah.
okay. Do we have anything else?
That's the one photo we got
Okay.
for you right now. And I believe the tornado warning has been expanded north, yeah, to include Southern Lake Ridgely that just got hit before
Okay.
for you. As soon as we get anything new, we'll let you know.
Okay. I want to put a track on this one, and then we're going to go down and update you on the Tennessee storm. I believe at last check, this tornado was moving at 60 miles per hour. So I have to zoom out just a little bit here. So from here to here, and it's headed toward, guys, Princeton is going to be a real close call for us. All right, so we will track the rotating part of the storm, which is right here, moving off to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. So Saratoga at 10:12, Princeton at 10:20, and you guys are right in the middle of that track. Dawson Springs at 10:32, you guys are right in the middle of that track. Then Earlington at 10:46. So all of these locations, Saratoga, Princeton, Dawson Springs, assume that this tornado is going to remain intact. I know it's getting ready to cross over the lakes. There's this myth that when a tornado crosses over a river or a lake, that it does something to the circulation. If we're dealing with a major significant tornado, that lake or river has nothing to do with it. It's going to go right across those lakes, and it will come out on the other side. So Saratoga at 10:12, Princeton at 10:20, and Dawson Springs at 10:32. All right. Let's just let me go all the way back out for the big home view perspective here, and we're not done yet. This thing is still going on. This individual supercell that's been on the ground or has been rotating at least since way back about 2.5 hours ago, it's still tracking along. Eventually this line is going to catch up with it, and that's going to be what ends up, I think, finally giving us some help with getting rid of this storm. You see that it's starting to get up. It had been by itself for miles and miles and miles. It's now starting to get to where it's going to be interfered with. The circulation of the supercell is going to start to get interfered with by this complex of storms coming up behind it. Hopefully that'll start to weaken it. We've got new tornado warnings here in Tennessee. We'll get to that. And there's another line out here in Missouri. Right now, severe thunderstorms, but we'll need to keep an eye on that. I do believe once this batch of storms moves east, the next one behind it will likely have more of a wind threat. We'll see more severe thunderstorm warnings as opposed to tornado warnings. Let's go down here to Tennessee and give you a look at this area. These are new tornado warnings, and let's get you caught up here on the specifics of that. Let's see here. Tornado warning now till 10:30, and that includes Southern Lake, extreme southwestern Obion, Dyer County, and back into southern Pemiscot County. This is a radar indicated area of rotation. This is a much more, I'd say, disorganized. It's not a supercell. It's a line of storms that has some rotation detected within it. So let me stop this. And let's go for a look at the velocity scan here. Kind of hard to pick out our rotation here. Let's actually move the camera around and get into the Memphis radar site. Yeah, there's there's some rotation here. It's not really well defined. So we'll keep an eye on this one. I do want to put a track on it here real quick just so we get an idea of where we're talking about. Let's go back to radar and let me loop it real quick so we get an idea of where it's moving. Do you happen to have a forward speed on this? I don't have the printout over here.
That tornado is the emergency?
No, the Tennessee
Got it.
storm.
Okay, that one, the forward speed is, I believe it's going to be 55. Yep, 55.
Okay. All right, so let's stop on that, and we'll just kind of track that entire complex. And it's moving east-northeast at 55, so that's going to head it, put it up heading toward Union City and Martin. Ridgely, you guys are going to be in kind of the northern part of this complex at 10:16. Dyersburg at 10:25. Troy at 10:36. Union City at 10:43 and Martin at 10:45. This does not look like the storm that came through Tiptonville and Ridgely and Woodland Mills and Cayce earlier. This is not that kind of a storm. All right, let's go back to the storm that has caused all of the damage as it is crossing the lakes right now. We still have a tornado warning in effect for Lyon County, and let's get you that information here. Tornado warning for Lyon County and a little sliver of Livingston County over toward Grand Rivers. This still is being considered an observed tornado right there. It is over the LBL area. So mainly rural areas right now being impacted by the storm. The debris tracker, there is still debris being lofted into the air right here. Where you see the reds and the oranges, that's where the radar is picking up things that are similar. Where you see the blues and the greens, that is where the radar is picking up different stuff, debris from the tornado. And when you see this ball right here, that's not rain, that's stuff. And that's what the radar is showing us. That's how the radar is showing us where the tornado is located. Let's go down here for a zoom in. And it may be a little difficult to pick out locations here. DeMumbers Bay, Lake Access Road, Brandon Chapel Road, and Bethlehem Cemetery Road, all in the path of this as it moves across LBL. What you got?
We're starting to get two things. First,
okay.
That picture we showed was not the picture we showed was not from Mayfield, just to clarify.
Okay.
And second, we're getting reports of, Kaylee, would you like to read that?
Yeah, it looks like we've got reports of people trapped in the candle factory in Mayfield. We had a couple people mention that the roof's been torn off the candle factory. Now people are trapped in there.
So to repeat, because I think your mic was off, I'll repeat it for you. Or you just got it on here. Go ahead one more time.
Oh yeah, so let's try that again. So it sounds like a couple people are trapped in the candle factory, as well as the roof being torn off of part of the candle factory. And this is in the Mayfield area, by the way.
And we are getting reports of family members, cars damaged, thrown, houses severely taken to the ground in Graves County, Trent.
Okay.
And that's a new tornado warning extension up to Madisonville and an update for the one in Tennessee.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Paradise Hills. You guys are next with this tornado. If you live in Paradise Hills, just over to the west of I-24, you've got 5 minutes. Assume that there is a dangerous, destructive tornado headed your way. I need to go back down to Tennessee real quick because we have Samburg, Tennessee. We got hit really hard with this tornado earlier this evening. There are multiple crews that are out doing rescue work right now, crews that are out trying to help people that were impacted by this, and there's more weather headed that way. So let's give you an update on what's coming your way down that direction. Let's go down here, Samburg area. You guys are kind of over toward Ridgely, and so here's what we've got headed your direction. There is another tornado warning, but for those of you that are over near Samburg, this is, okay, here we are, over east of Tiptonville. So we got hit really hard with the tornado earlier tonight. There is another tornado warning just to the west of you guys. At this point in time, this is not as strong or severe of a storm as what we had earlier. It's radar indicated areas of rotation with this storm. The rotation with this honestly is a little farther to the south, and it's right on the edge of the Paducah and Memphis radar coverage area, so it's kind of hard to get a real good read on it. Kind of switch over here and try it again from Memphis. Yeah, so it's really, honestly, it's more of a straight line wind type of situation, and there may be some gusts, 40 to 50 miles per hour, but I think the worst of that's going to stay farther south in Dyer County. So as far as folks up in Samburg, you're going to get another round of rain. There's going to be some thunder and lightning. The winds may pick up. Honestly, think that your tornado threat is extremely low. You're going to have some gusty winds and some lightning. That's going to blow through here in the next 10 to 15 minutes. Now let me go in for a little closer view for you guys again. All right, so Samburg is over here. Honestly, the worst of the storm kind of to the south. Let's loop this. And yeah, you're going to get one more round of heavy rain, and the tornado threat, I think, is pretty low. It's not zero. There is a chance that it could spin something up, but right now there's nothing imminent for that area. All right, let's do kind of a hard reset here. Pull all the way back out. Okay, we've got new tornado warnings here. Several counties under severe thunderstorm warnings here in western Kentucky. Right now, that's kind of we're talking about mainly some gusty winds, maybe a little bit of hail. But our supercell is still going, and it is getting ready to head toward the Princeton area. All right, so we don't want to forget about you guys. Let's stop this. Let's switch back over to velocity. I mean, this is just incredible. This thing has been showing signs of a strong tornado. It's like, are we going on 2.5 hours now with this?
Started at what, 7:30 in Arkansas?
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen anything like this. Guys, if you're in Princeton, this thing is really close. It's just passing south of Eddyville. It's crossing I-24 right now along the exits around 293, so in between Eddyville and Lamasco. Assume that there's a tornado on the ground. It's headed into Princeton in the next 5 minutes. Go back to radar. Here's our debris signature. It is starting to get a little more, it looks like maybe the inflow notch is kind of starting to get cut off just a little bit. This kind of a backwards V here. Let me go to the debris tracker. There is still some debris showing up here, south of Eddyville on 293. Let me see if I can get some of my bearings here. This is going to be out pretty close to Mineral Mound State Park, and the golf course out there. Just to the east, it looks like, of that area. And some pretty rural country over here, but it does look like there again. That's pretty close to the 24 and 69 interchange, just to the southeast of that. So Mineral Mound, pretty close to the penitentiary there, and there's a Marathon gas station out there and a grocery store on 293, and from that point on, it's going to be kind of sliding on to the east. But it's over toward Princeton, guys. And Princeton, if you're watching right now, it's getting really close to you. Let's put a loop on this so that we can kind of give an idea of anywhere in Princeton, take shelter right now. South of town, right in the middle of town. You have to assume that there is a destructive tornado on your doorstep right now. Let's pull out for a track on that. Anything new coming in from the chat?
Just so you know, the weather service in Paducah, this just happened 10:14. Lost power. They don't have a backup generator, so our comms have been moved to National Weather Service out of Springfield. We're picking it up. So we've got that change.
Okay.
And they're picking up the warnings that are coming out now for here. And there's a new tornado warning in Madison County, just came out.
Yes.
But we'll get to that in a minute.
Madison County, Kentucky?
Missouri.
Or Missouri. Oh, yeah.
And the report of the people entrapment in Mayfield is developing. And what we got out from the newsroom just now when Kaylee left is that there's Main Street, it seems the square in Mayfield was the hardest hit.
Okay.
In Mayfield. And as soon as we hear more, we'll let you know.
Okay. So Princeton, we've got 5 minutes. 10:22 arrival time in Princeton. And Dawson Springs at 10:35. So both of you, Princeton and Dawson Springs, assume that a destructive tornado that has done catastrophic damage is going to hit both of your communities in the next 5 minutes in Princeton and 10:35 in Dawson Springs. If you live in Princeton, I need you to go to your basement if you have one. If you don't, go to the middle of your house, get as low as you can into an interior hallway, closet, away from windows, put a mattress, pillow, blanket on top of you. If you've got a baseball helmet, football helmet, bike helmet, get that on, take your phone with you, and make sure that you are able to stay connected with us. And it does look like now we have a tornado emergency for the city of Princeton. So let me get you that information here. Yeah, new tornado warning, 10:30 for the city of Princeton, catastrophic observed tornado. Moving into town in 5 minutes. You have to get to shelter. This is the same storm that's done major damage in Samburg, Tennessee, Cayce, Kentucky, Mayfield, Kentucky, Benton, Kentucky got hit hard with this thing. Now Princeton, you guys are in line. This is a once-in-a-generation storm. It's been doing damage for well over 100 miles. It's not going to fall apart in the next 5 minutes. So if you're in Princeton, you have to take shelter right now. Tornado emergency for Princeton and central Caldwell County in western Kentucky. Dawson Springs, we've got about 12 to 15 minutes, and it's going to be in your area. Zoom in here and give you a look at what's going on right now with this. The debris tracker is still picking up. Okay, this thing is getting stronger again. Right on 293 into the Caldwell County, just across the Caldwell County line. This is pretty rural territory, but it's going to pass dangerously close to Princeton, if not right over Princeton. So if you live on the south side of town, out toward the baseball fields, over toward, it comes up 293, that's over toward the Princeton Golf Club, and out toward the south side of town where you have the grocery store, the Food Giant, and Hudson Inc. out there. That's what we're talking about, coming right across the south side of Princeton. Let me put our radar into motion real quick here so we get a better idea. Okay, so we'll draw this line here. It comes from about here. So, I mean, the south side of Princeton is going to be a real close call. Everywhere in Princeton, we've got to be taking shelter right now. You're probably getting slammed with some real heavy rain and maybe some hail, and it now looks like that debris ball is right over the south side of town.
Make sure you stay on the Fort Campbell radar. I believe the Paducah radar is either out or down.
Okay.
And the data's old.
Okay.
Make sure you stay on that.
Yeah, it does look like we're picking up the Fort Campbell site now. All right, yep, here we go. Princeton is right over the top of you right now. It's going to go just along and south of Highway 62, and then it will head right up toward Dawson Springs. So anywhere here in central and northern Caldwell County, you guys are under the gun. You're going to be impacted by perhaps a life-threatening tornado right now. And over to the northeast of town, you've got to get to your safe place of shelter immediately. You don't have much time. Let me zoom this out, and we'll track it again just to kind of update our speed. Would you guys let me know what was the forward speed? Is it still 60?
That one is 60. Yes.
Okay.
Hang on. Is it changed? Yep. Okay. Officially, just so you know, Trent, the Paducah radar is out.
Okay.
And the new warning on that is now 50.
All right.
45, northeast of 45.
Oh, okay. All right. So it's actually slowed down a little bit. So we have to track it for our friends here in Dawson Springs. 10:37, 15 minutes or so for Dawson Springs. Earlington at 10:53. And then after that, it's going to be out of our area. I've never seen a storm like this one. This is incredible. This thing has been on the ground now. I say on the ground. It's been showing signs of being an active, dangerous tornado for a long time. It started out back here near Jonesboro, Arkansas, and has moved all the way up into the Princeton area right now. And I'm just curious here what we're dealing with as far as what the distance looked like on that. This is it's just mind-blowing. It is incredible what we've dealt with here. The storm started about right here. I mean, we're talking about a supercell storm that survived for almost 200 miles. This is one that we're going to talk about for decades around our area.
Trent, when you have a sec, Jennifer,
Yeah.
got something to share with us.
Go ahead.
Just a little something. I talked to a woman from Cayce, Kentucky. She said that her sister lives there and actually left her home, got out of the way, and went to her daughter's home and went to the bathroom in her daughter's home because she lives in a mobile home. So she listened to you guys and she did that.
Good.
Which is a good thing because even the daughter's home apparently was blown away in this thing. The only thing that was left in the daughter's home was the hallway and the bathroom where they happened to be.
Wow.
She said all the trees are gone, the house is gone. She also said that in Cayce that they're hearing, or at least that she was seeing, that the fire department had suffered some damage there. So Cayce's reporting quite a bit of damage as well.
The the debris ball there was about as big as I've seen it right around the Cayce area. So glad to hear that at least there's a little, it's not good news, but they're safe, they're okay, and we're hoping. This has been a really terrible night for a lot of folks in our area. We're 2 weeks before Christmas. A lot of lives have been changed. So, throw up some prayers and let's keep these folks in our prayers. And there's a lot of folks who are going to need a lot of help and a lot of love in the next few days. So let's make sure that we keep that in mind. Our friends right now in Princeton and central Caldwell County, you guys are dealing with it now. And we're headed up toward Dawson Springs next. So let's do a zoom in here toward the Princeton area. The storm is right here. And let me make sure that we're on the Fort Campbell radar site.
If you want, real quick, I can turn off the Paducah so we don't get that in there. But no, you're on.
Yeah, we're on Fort Campbell. All right.
Actually, yeah.
So if you're wondering what we're talking about, there's been a lot of lightning and thunder here in McCracken County, and it sounds like the National Weather Service took a major power hit. The radar in Paducah is actually out right now, and they have had to hand off communications to the National Weather Service office in Springfield, Missouri. So those folks are trying to get us the information that we need. This storm, we're able to pick it up off the Fort Campbell radar site, and now it looks like the storm has moved through Princeton, and our debris signature is off to the east of town. So let me go back in for a closer view here. And it is right along 62. I mean, this thing is plowing along on Highway 62 east of Princeton. That's out Dawson Road. If it goes right along 62, there's a drilling facility and a sawmill out there, and it's a pretty rural area between there and over toward, as we get closer to Dawson Springs. But right now, if you follow this path from near Princeton, you take it up really close to Dawson Springs. This will be a really close call. So you guys don't have much time left to take shelter. Let me stop this, and we'll put another track on it. To zoom out again. Bear with me here, folks. It's been a long night, and unfortunately, we're not done yet. So this is moving again at 45 miles per hour, I believe now was the latest speed on it. So the rotating part is here, 45 miles per hour. It's going to plow through Dawson Springs real fast, and then it may get, I think we're probably looking at going just south of Madisonville. But Dawson Springs, we're down to within about 10 minutes. 10:35, St. Charles at 10:45, Earlington at 10:52, and then at that point, it's out of the Local 6 area. So if you're in Dawson Springs right now, if you are in a mobile home, you've got 10 minutes to get somewhere else. Don't drive across town. If you got a neighbor that's got a house, go there. If you've got a basement, go there. If you've got an interior hallway or closet, that's where you want to go. Helmet, take your phone with you, cover up with something, make sure that you've got as many walls between you and the outside as you can. Okay, we've got a lot more warnings that we have to cover. Yeah, what do you guys have?
Oh, sorry, Trent. I was just going to make sure you got that one. And trying to get we're getting into a lot of photos now and try to get these together to show for you guys.
Okay.
This is out of Memphis, if you'd like it.
Yes, let me zoom in on it. And okay.
And just a quick reminder, because a lot of folks are asking about Southern Illinois.
Yes.
There are more storms, so let's just make this calmly clear. We can't, unfortunately, sound the all clear for anybody yet. There's still more storms to the west. So just because you haven't gotten anything yet or missed some rain, there is still another line coming on the Highway 67 corridor, which we'll show you too.
Yeah, we certainly don't want to leave anybody out here. It's just, this thing that we've had, that's gone through Mayfield, Benton, and Princeton. This is an incredibly dangerous storm. Not that the other ones aren't, but this one is a life-changing storm. We do have a new tornado warning here in Tennessee. Get you that information here. That does include the city of Martin. This goes until 11:15 for Dyer, northern sections of Gibson County, southeastern Obion County, and southwestern Weakley County. So Dyersburg, Martin, New Bern, and Trenton are in the path of this. This is radar indicated. Nothing confirmed with this.
Okay, there's a new tornado for southern Massac and I believe parts of Pope, Trent. But I'm trying to get the radar off of Paducah because it's locking up. So this is for new tornado warning, Massac, Pope, Crittenden, Central Livingston.
Okay.
Until 11:15. And I'm keeping an eye on that other stuff for you coming in from the west.
Okay. Okay, guys, so this is going to be tricky here. Let me finish here first. I want to make sure we cover our bases in Tennessee. Tornado warning there. Right now, this is radar indicated rotation. And that rotation, yeah, it's right here. The winds inside the storm around Dyersburg. This is it's not well defined. It's more winds blowing out from the storm, but there's a little bit of a signature here, a little bit of a hook around Dyersburg. So if that thing continued to, and see this is our problem, is you notice how the radar switches back. We're going back to the Paducah radar, and we don't have any data coming in on our Paducah radar right now. So we kind of have to, we're almost making an estimate here. Okay. All right, so this storm, moving at 45. Newbern, 1037, Trimble, 1045, Rutherford at 1058, Greenfield at 1113, and Dresden at 1123. Let's go back up to and now we're getting the signal here in the station. All right, this is our tornado emergency for Dawson Springs. And we're going to get to the Paducah, McCracken County situation here in a second. Dawson Springs right now, tornado is on top of town as expected. And this is, again, a catastrophic tornado. Dawson Springs and St. Charles in Caldwell and Hopkins County. This storm is still doing damage. And we do have a debris signature right here on the west side of Dawson Springs. It's going to go right across town and eventually cut just to the north of Nortonville. All right, let's go down, go back to the home view here. This is really tough because we don't have radar information. So if you're, for whatever reason, if you're just joining us, there was a power outage at the National Weather Service office in Paducah. Communication has been lost there. They had to transfer responsibilities to their office in Springfield, Missouri. The radar is down currently in Paducah. But we do have a tornado warning in effect for Massac, Pope, and Livingston County. Let's get you that warning information here. This is radar indicated rotation that, according to the printout, was located over Brookport at 10:29. So 5 minutes ago, the rotation was over Brookport, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. That'll put it near Berna at 10:50 and Salem and Joy at around 10:55. So we have to do, kind of a track based on just the warning information. So the storm was about here. 45 is going to put it on this path. Bay City, 1044, Berna at 1052, Salem at 11, Marion, Kentucky at 1114, and out of the area up around Nunn after that.
So if you want, I got pulled up the radar for that, I believe.
Okay.
So are we just out now? Is the data's out from Paducah, right?
Yes, completely out.
And just so you know, we've got Jennifer Horvath's going to come in a minute. We've got a woman with a story about her house being hit. But real quick, I want to show you guys this. We're getting reports of extreme damage in Mayfield. The courthouse and the jail severely hit. This is looking just 15 minutes ago, just got this photo in. This is the jail and the courthouse reported major damage. And just to reiterate for you, we're getting to a point now, we've lost the radar in Paducah. We've had power bumps in the Paducah office. We've got multiple tornadoes right now. So Trent and I are going to try to take a few of these each. We'll try to make sure we cover them. There's the tornado in Dawson Springs. Just to give you a reset, that is a tornado emergency. That tornado emergency continues. That is coming east on 69. That is still producing catastrophic damage. I was just in the newsroom, and we've got houses that have either been brought to the ground, roofs that are gone, the courthouse in Mayfield severely damaged. So join all of us here, and we're going to extend prayers to those in Mayfield and Graves County. There's your tornado in Dawson Springs, but let's show you the one coming out of southern Illinois that we just had that Trent was talking about. Here is that tornado. And now you have to understand, we're looking at the radar from Fort Campbell, so this is going to look messy. It's not going to be as crystal clear as the radar from Paducah, but we'll leave that technicality out of it. There's your tornado between Bay City and Smithland. So this is the newest tornado warning we have. If you're in Bremen, Salem, Kentucky, we have seen almost all of these tornadoes tonight that have produced both damage, catastrophic damage, and have stayed on the ground for long periods of time. There's the tornado. Smithland, Kentucky, you may have gotten your emergency alert, but Smithland, you are not under any imminent threat from the path we believe should pass to your north. But Bremen, Salem, if you live on 60 to Marion, Kentucky, that is a tornado. Let's go ahead and try to look at the debris signature. I'll zoom this out for you here. We do have another tornado warning now for northwestern Obion County. Let me put a track on this, then we'll get to that. In between Trent and I will try to do, each of us, one of these tornado warnings. So to clarify for everybody, we've got 3 active tornado warnings in our area. One heading out of southeastern Massac County, the second moving east out of Dawson Springs, and the third now in Obion County. We will be tracking each of these for you. This one, this is the track of it. We'll put this at the correct speed. That's not the correct speed. They're moving still to the northeast at about 50 miles an hour. So if you're in the path of this one, Bremen, Salem, Marion, Kentucky. Marion arrival time 11:06, Salem 10:54, Bremen 10:46. Cover your head, shelter in a bathtub in innermost room. If you're in a mobile home in the Marion, Kentucky area, if you're in a manufactured home in the Marion, Kentucky area, now is your time to leave that now and go find a better place of shelter. Jennifer Horvath's going to be in here in a minute. Once we maybe, hopefully, catch a break, I will relay to you. We have a story of someone who left their mobile home and has survived because they left their mobile home. On this tornado emergency still?
Well, no, we need to stay on this storm that's in Livingston County right now. This thing doesn't look very good. This is a horrible situation because we, have lost radar data from Paducah. But I tell you what, there was a pretty nasty signature. If we've got anybody down around Brookport and even on even close across the river in Paducah over across the way, there was about 1028. The Fort Campbell site picked up a really nasty signature that moved across the Brookport Bridge, and of course that is now up into Livingston County. It's actually Polk County right now. It's just south of Bay City, but it really, again, this is so far away. We're probably scanning way high up in the atmosphere. So we're not getting ground truth to that.
When you're ready, I've got a track on for the one in Tennessee.
Yeah, if you want to take take that one, and then I'll work on a track on the other one.
So we'll toss back and forth here, given the track, seeing as though we've reached a point of the night now where we've got multiple tornadoes in effect. This is for Tennessee. If you're in Kenton, Martin, Dresden, Palmersville, do not wait. Seek your shelter now, your tornado precaution. And remember, as Trent explained with the radar data, just because it may not look as super crystal clear as it did before does not mean you should think you're okay or not take shelter. Right here is where this circulation is. Let me highlight that to you. And I should also remind you there's another line of storms with a tornado warning near Fredericktown, Missouri we're keeping an eye on. So for those of you in Cape Girardeau, Jackson, Missouri, in the Carbondale area. We're keeping an eye on that one as well. We'll get to that in a few minutes. This is your circulation. Kenton, Martin, Dresden. Circulation probably going to pass between Martin and Dresden, 15 minutes or so. The next tornado warning in Tennessee is this one, which we're not going to really get a good handle on the radar from there. This is a warning that goes for Obion County till 11:15. If I had to pick out where in there, Trent, it's probably in the northwestern part of the county, but
Yeah.
approaching Fulton, we'll keep an eye on that for you too. So that's the two in Tennessee. If you want to pick up the one in Kentucky.
Okay, yeah, let's, okay, we'll head back here, oh, hey, Kaylee, favor. Over on source 1, will you hit the button that says Enable Magic Track down there in the bottom right?
Can. There you go.
Thank you. Okay. Again, we don't know exactly what we're looking at here because this is way far away. We're using the Fort Campbell radar to look at something in Livingston County. So you keep in mind the curvature of the Earth, the radar beam shoots up and out, so we're scanning pretty high up in the atmosphere. But there's certainly a sign of rotation here right over the Ohio River south of Bay City, and it's getting ready to crossing now into Livingston County. So this thing is headed toward Berna. We'll continue to slide up north of Salem as well. So we do have a tornado warning here. This is a radar indicated area of rotation that started out over the Ohio River on the north side of Paducah, right over toward the Brookport Bridge, and it's survived this far and is continuing to move off to the northeast at about 45 miles per hour. So let's move the camera around here and we'll put a track on this. The best we can do right now is just, well, let's try this again. We're not flying blind, but we're flying close to blind on this. Well, let's try this one more time. Oh, wrong one. All right. So moving off to the northeast at about 45 miles per hour. This storm will be close to Salem, close to Berna at 10:49, Salem at 10:57, Marion at 11:10, and Sturgis at around 11:26. Again, this is a tornado warning until 11:15. Let's get you that warning information here. Right now, the storm is in Livingston County, so I think we can signal the all clear from Massac. Pope County, it's right on the Ohio River there. It's south of Golconda. If you're in Golconda, you guys are not in this warning. But for central Livingston County up into southwestern Crittenden County, tornado warning is in effect until 11:15 this evening. And radar indicated area of rotation. A quick update on the tornado emergency. We now have a tornado warning that includes Madisonville, and this is, Kaylee, do you mind to get me that printout for the one that just came out? 11:15 includes Earlington, Madisonville, Morton's Gap, and Nortonville. The threat tag still says catastrophic. Tornado emergency for Earlington and Afton. Large destructive tornado was observed near Earlington at 10:43, just south of Madisonville, right here. I cannot believe that this thing is still producing a tornado, but it is. Let's go down for a little bit of a closer view. We're still, thankfully, we're able to look at this through the Fort Campbell radar site. Tornado is right here. It's just in the north of Nortonville, northwest of Nortonville. It is getting ready to move out of the Local 6 coverage area. Basically, once it gets past I-69, that's out of our area. But it is going to cross I-69 in between Madisonville and Earlington. So a tornado emergency for those areas. There is still a debris ball with this. It hit Princeton and Dawson Springs. It's just north of St. Charles, and it looks like it may pass just to the south of Earlington, kind of splits the difference between Earlington and Nortonville, and then it's gone. It's out of our area. All right, let's refresh this. And do you have anything new for us, Noah?
Unfortunately, I'm following with our feed. A lot of people saying that they're trying to get in touch with people in Princeton and can't. I think that we might have a cell tower out now because we heard this in the newsroom. So everybody, just to understand, and let's take a quick step back while we can. There's power outages. There might be some cell service that's been impacted. So we're doing our best, and everybody's doing their best to keep everybody informed and in touch. There is no current threat in McCracken County or Paducah for a tornado. A couple of other things to answer other questions. This tornado in Tennessee, I switched the radar to what's called our composite mode so we can just more clearly see what's going on. If you're in Sharon, Martin, Dresden, Palmersville, Puryear, you need to be taking precaution as if this was a tornado. This is more likely a big surge, a big forward flank draft of wind, a strong push of wind. It might as well be a tornado. Treat this as a tornado. Sharon, Martin, if you live anywhere on 45E between Sharon and Martin, you've got about, the time now is 10:47, you've got about 10 to 15 minutes. As soon as we see any report of debris, I will tell you, but it looks like the strongest rotation in Tennessee is near between Rutherford and Kenton. We're getting radar returns. Granted, they're very high up in the atmosphere, well over 100 miles an hour. So even if we extrapolated that down to what they would be at the ground, there is very strong wind near Kenton, Tennessee, heading towards Sharon, north of Greenfield, and eventually Dresden. If you're in the Martin area, there's a lot of lightning, there's a lot of wind, but the two circulations, there's one just to the northeast of Union City is going to miss Martin, and the one near Kenton is going to miss Martin. So if you're watching or listening in Martin, Tennessee, we believe both of those should miss you. But for our Tennessee friends, this is the warning information, the tornado warning for parts of Dyer, Gibson, really southeastern Obion and Weakley County till 15 minutes past 11. And Trent, that now is observed tornado.
Okay.
And that is moving east at 50. This was 10 minutes ago, 9 minutes ago, a tornado located near Dyersburg, moving east-northeast at 50. Just looking at the radar out of, this would be Memphis, that would line up. So let me stop this real quick. I'll try to pinpoint that for you real quick. Kenton is going to be right about in here. If there was a tornado, it would be on this notch, right here. So 45W, Kenton, the Rutherford tornado shelter. Up next from that, Sharon, Tennessee. If you're in Sharon, we want you to make sure you're aware of that. And one other thing for you before I give you back to Trent. Those of you, just a quick update, new tornado warning polygon now. Just to do a quick, big scale picture. Let's zoom this out. We cannot sound the all clear until we get past this second line of storms, which stretches outside of St. Louis down just east of Rolla, Missouri into northern Arkansas. Once we get through this right here, that will be it for the night, most likely. But that still can produce severe weather and tornadoes. The atmosphere is still plenty unstable and extremely sheared, especially in the lower few thousand feet. So those of you in southern Illinois, if you haven't gotten a lot, you might have been watching us give this very troubling, very bad forecast at times here in analysis. This is something we're going to watch. That's a new warning, I believe. Trent, that's northern Bollinger, Cape, and parts of southern Perry County till 11:30. That tornado warning is just issued. That is a tornado that is radar indicated near Marquand, moving due east at 50. So let's give a big picture of that. Then, Trent, I'm going to toss it back to you so I can get this picture, and I just got moving east at 50. So southern Illinois, folks, if you're watching, you're not out of the woods yet. This, with time, I think it's fair to say, will probably transition more to a straight line damaging wind threat. East-northeast over the next 90 minutes to 2 hours. So southern Illinois, folks, eventually Grand Tower, Carbondale vicinity, we'll get a storm, whether it's severe or not, we'll see. Marion and Harrisburg eventually in the path of that tornado warning. Let me pull up Cayce.
What's that?
Did you catch Mark's in your ear? We've got a report from a viewer's story to share in a second, I think.
Okay.
Newest polygon. So you want me to switch you to the composite real quick? Go over there for you.
Let's see.
So you have it? The composite radar?
Yeah, you may need to get that for me. Have we lost? Okay, no, we've still got Fort Campbell.
Okay, I'll talk.
So real quick, just a few reports. I've got a friend in Marshall that says that there's folks that are trapped in houses in Marshall County. You know, trees, power lines down everywhere. Had a report from a friend that brother lives on Princeton Country Club, and he said that his house is gone, vehicles are totaled. That was right around the golf course there. The reports are hard to get in because coverage of this storm has taken out so much power and so much of our communications abilities. So, you know, we are just scratching the surface on reports here. Okay, where to go next? We've got so many that we're watching right now. Let's give you an update on the Livingston and Crittenden County storm. This is the problem we're running into. We're losing our radar data from Paducah. If you're just joining us and you happen to have kind of missed some of the details of what's going on, the National Weather Service office in Paducah took a power hit, and they lost radar and communications. So having a real difficult time getting information in and out from them. So let me give you an update here on our tornado warning in Livingston County. A really nasty storm here around Salem, and it's headed up toward Marion, Kentucky, moving northeast at about 45 miles per hour. At last check, this was a radar indicated area of rotation. Trying to look at a couple things behind the scenes here because it's a little easier to juggle switching the radars. There is still some rotation on this thing. It's not real well defined. Of course, we're looking at it from way up high because it's scanning from the radar site down in Fort Campbell. But this tornado warning continues here for parts of Livingston and Crittenden County, basically Salem up toward Marion until 11:15, so it's got about another 20 minutes on it. Radar indicated area of rotation, and we've also got tornado warnings here in Tennessee. Let's give you updates on those. And so I'm going to step off. I need to switch the radar again. Bear with us. We're going to have to do a little bit of juggling on some of these things with the loss of communication.
I don't know if you heard from Mark, too. We've got some sound out of Hickman.
Okay. Have we lost Memphis? No. Okay. So, particularly strong-looking storm here around Rutherford in Tennessee. This one is moving to the east-northeast at around 45 miles per hour. So let me do a zoom out here and track this. Worst of this storm is going to be sliding over here into southern sections of Weakley County, possibly with up to quarter-size hail and maybe some rotation. Rutherford is pretty much in your neighborhood right now. Greenfield at around 11:10. McKenzie at around 11:31, and Henry at 11:38. Our tornado warning up around the Union City area, that's one that we're having a hard time getting data in for. It does appear maybe some rotation that's off to the west of town. Are y'all trying to communicate with me? Okay, so we have a sound bite, and this is from Cayce, Kentucky? Okay, from Hickma County? Okay, go ahead and we'll go ahead and play that.
Lives in Cayce, right across from the fire department, and her daughter lives right up on the hill from where she lives in a double wide. So she went, and she's in a wheelchair. She went to her daughter's, and they all got in the bathroom. There's a little hallway before you get into the bathroom, and they got there, and it blew the house away. The only thing standing was the bathroom and the hall. And there was trees. I bet there was 8 or 9 pine trees in her front yard. She says all the trees are gone. The fire department is damaged. I don't know if it's blown away or damaged. And she said when the fire department got to her and took her out of her house, out of her daughter's house, she had a sign on her back that said, "As for me and my house, we'll serve the Lord," that was stuck to her clothes on the back of her shirt.
Wow.
And my nephew's stepdaughter lives in the Cayce area, and it sucked her well out of the ground.
That is just unbelievable.
All right, what you just heard was some sound out of Hickman County, the Cayce area earlier. Let's do a quick reset for you. All right, we're back, everybody. That was some sound out of Hickman County. It's now coming up on 11 p.m. Central Time on what has been a night that we are going to remember for a long time, but we will leave that be for right now. Kaylee, can you enable that magic track for me on Max 1? The radar is lit up right now. We've got multiple tornado warnings, multiple sectors of people that are trying to get alerts and warnings, and we're going to go through everything that you need to know here. So actually, toggle the radar on and save that, just so, yeah, because it's, thank you. Yeah, we've lost that. So we're going to leave that on as the default. And Kaylee, if you get anything, please jump in. So let's do a quick reset now. Coming up on 11 p.m. First and foremost, let's stop the radar. We're going to go through these in order of severity. So the first, you have to catch that for me because I'm losing my stuff over here. Is that a new warning for Dyer County? Okay, so we're going to go through this in order of severity. First is our remarkable tri-state tracking tornado that just refuses to stop. We've got crews that are both one that's in Mayfield and one or nearing Mayfield. As soon as we get reports from Jack Kane or any of our crews that are in Graves County, we will of course pass those along to you. But this is by far and away the warning of greatest threat and biggest concern. This is a warning that's now technically out of our area. That's for Ohio County. That continues the considerable damage tag and threat that is just insane that this thing started in Arkansas, came over the Mississippi confluence, went across Tennessee, went across Kentucky, and now is paralleling the parkway out. So if you have family or friends out here north of Central City, give them a call, let them know that that is coming. So that's this first tornado warning. We're going to come back to that in a little later because that's now leaving our area. Want to give some coverage and attention to our Marion, Kentucky friends. This is a tornado warning that I believe is going to be allowed to expire, but we will see. This goes till 11:15, which you can see the extent of the storm is starting to leave, but parts of Crittenden, especially northern Livingston County, this includes Salem. So let's zoom in. You're going to have to bear with us because, as Trent has explained, it's going to be very difficult to give a velocity presentation right now. So lots of lightning. Kaylee, if you wouldn't mind, on the bottom right, could you toggle off the lightning? Scroll in there and toggle off the lightning for me. If you're in Mattoon, Marion, Kentucky, along 60, there can be some quarter-plus size hail in through here, and there still is the potential for a tornado right in this vicinity. 297 coming into 60. So Marion, Kentucky, we want you to be sheltered in your tornado precautions for the next few minutes. Tornado precautions there. That warning goes till 11:15. We will see if that gets extended. I want to go out now to our Tennessee friends because we have been covering what is going to be in the top for worst tornadoes we've ever had, the one that went across. But we'll worry about all of that later. The main concern now is keeping people safe that are under imminent threat. And this is particularly dangerous. This is another tornado emergency. It's remarkable that these keep coming. This is a considerable observed tornado now. If you are in these cities or towns, Martin, the worst of it is just south of Martin, but Martin, Tennessee. Paris, Tennessee, this is coming for you. Greenfield, you're in the direct path of that. But what I'm most concerned about is Dresden. If you're watching and listening in Dresden, Tennessee, this is a considerable threat from another tornado. This is moving to the northeast. Something I want to point out before we do a deep dive into the velocity, southern Callaway, Murray area. Let's track this out so you guys can have a heads up. So New Concord, not quite to Farmington. Farmington, folks, you'll probably just get a good old storm without the big severe threat. But certainly Murray, New Concord, southeastern Callaway, northern Henry County. This is a confirmed tornado, particularly dangerous, moving to the northeast at 50 miles an hour. Murray, we just had a tornado in Murray on Sunday. In Callaway, we've had 4 tornadoes on Sunday with that big squall line. These are areas that have already been hit, already had damage, and you're going to get this again. Palmersville, 1116. Puryear, if you're watching, we've got a lot of people who watch us in Puryear, Tennessee, just past 11:30, so you still got a few minutes. New Concord, as I just told you, 11:47. Hamlin, 11:53. If you're visiting us, we know there's a lot of people in Murray for this weekend. If you're visiting or you're in a hotel or you're watching us in Murray, consider this your first warning here. 11:40, Murray, Kentucky. This observed, particularly dangerous tornado is coming your way. The rest of Graves County, we're cleaning up now. We're hopefully getting some emergency crews there. This is just some rain right now. There is no more threat imminent in Graves County. So to repeat, there's that new tornado warning coming out of Marion, Kentucky. This is a new, particularly dangerous, that's the pink polygon, that includes Dresden and Palmersville, Tennessee. Let's go ahead and see if we can get into the velocity scope here. Probably not going to get anything good because we've lost 1 and or 2 of our radar sites right now. So let's go back to the radar. This pink polygon, let's just focus on this. The storms are right here. Confirmed, observed tornado. Closet, innermost room. If you're in Palmersville right now, north of Dresden to Palmersville. Cottage Grove, you're in this as well. Kaylee, if you wouldn't mind, could you toggle, or Trent, toggle the radar back on for me, for us on here? So this is the newest polygon. We've just come out. This is the newest warning of greatest concern. Union City, you're in the clear right now. Fulton, you're in the clear right now. Palmersville, Dresden, Gleason, closet, innermost room. You're not going to see this coming. It's going to come real fast, and it's going to go real fast, but it's going to hit hard. It's coming to Palmersville, Dresden, Gleason, if you're in one of those three or in between one of those three. This is in northeastern Weakley County. Let's do a quick reset here, and let's go back to the storms in Missouri, because we've got 4 states here to cover. Kaylee, if you could turn on, can you turn on the magic track again? We've got another tornado warning there. And again, we've got crews that are heading to Murray. As soon as we hear anything from them, we'll let you know. The entire weather team's here. We're not going to go anywhere, especially seeing as though we've got more storms coming. As soon as you got something, Trent, feel free to hop on in.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind real quick just to come out, we've got a message from the Graves County EMA director that if you live in Mayfield and can walk safely, please head to Fire Station House 1. That's located at 2011 East Broadway Street. There are going to be buses there to help transport people. Again, if you're in Mayfield, if you can get around and walk safely without having to go over debris, power lines, head to Fire Station House 1, 211 East Broadway Street. There's going to be buses there to help transport people. That's a message from the newsroom, to our newsroom from the Graves County EMA director.
And the rain continues there too. It'll be raining in Graves. Let's do a quick look into Graves County. We're thinking of all of you, seriously, keeping you in our prayers and thoughts that everybody's there okay. But we've got rain in Mayfield. If you happen to still be listening in the Graves County area, the rain will let up in about 15 to 20 minutes. But let's cover all of our bases and get to this new tornado warning, which is still ongoing. This one has got its eyes for southwestern Illinois. So first and foremost, there's a severe thunderstorm warning. This includes northern Cape County, Jackson. This is really for 60-mile-per-hour wind, but there could certainly be some large hail in there. But the one tornado warning for our Missouri friends that is heading towards SIU, the Carbondale area is right there. Let me give you the information on that tornado warning. This one is going to run, I believe, until 11:30, which is for really far northern Cape County, parts of Perry County and Bollinger. Let's put a track on that. So if you're in the path of this one, you've got this risk of that tornadic circulation that could do damage. Probably a little more north of due east. So you see that Carbondale to Carterville to Interstate 57. And the good news there is that that tornado warning has been allowed to drop, but we will still keep an eye on that. Grand Tower, Carbondale area about 11:51, and again, Carterville at about midnight. So it's now 8 minutes past 11. That tornado emergency it was a tornado emergency from essentially Jonesboro to where it is. Has it stopped being a tornado emergency? Or the pink catastrophic tag? I think this has been a catastrophic tornado for the better half of 3 hours now, that storm, and that is exiting our area near Central City, Kentucky. We're keeping an eye on that. In terms of other active storms, I really want to make sure we focus in on the storm that's in Tennessee. That's heading out soon of northeastern Weakley County, but we're taking this very seriously here. Palmersville, Dresden. Worst of it, going to probably miss Gleason to the north. But especially in these tornadic circulations, there's so much wind coming into these things, funneling in from the south, rotating into these things. The low-level wind shear is exceptionally high, even for December standards. And the fact that we've had 2 of these in a week just adds to the remarkable factor to this. But the point of that is, even though you might quote-unquote miss the worst of it, Gleason, you still can get winds, high winds, that are funneling in from the south and curling around into that storm. The worst of it now is Dresden. Let's zoom in and give you a street-by-street view. Puryear, you're up next. Highway 54. Dresden, the circulation is over you right now. That is right over the center of Dresden. And remember, radar is a snapshot. So it's not a movie. This is a snapshot. So the radar is showing it in Dresden, but really it's probably right here. It's probably already a little bit, maybe 2 miles or so outside of Dresden. Cottage Grove, this is now in Henry County. Cottage Grove, you're up next. These are pretty rural areas in far northeastern Weakley County. Palmersville, shelter. Could be some hail with the pink in there. Certainly some damaging winds. I don't know if any of you guys got anything to report out of Tennessee in terms of this storm, but haven't heard from the Weather Service out of Memphis that covers this, but this is still, the pink polygon, remember, is that higher threat, the considerable threat level. The Greenfield to Dresden area, Martin, you're in the clear. So if you're in Martin, Tennessee, and you're listening to this, you're in the clear. So north of Paris, really Puryear, and eventually southern Callaway. I don't want to leave you guys out. Murray, folks, we're keeping an eye on this for you. Let's put a loop on the radar and show you this. It's coming for you. In fact, I wouldn't reckon to believe soon we'll get a new extension of this into Callaway County. So this is tracking to the northeast, and I'm going to deduce that this is where the circulation would be, right in there. That's going to track essentially from here right over 641, probably just south of Murray, to Hamlin and New Concord in southeastern Callaway County. That in the next 30 minutes. At least the center of Murray right now, the worst of that may miss you just to the south, but we're keeping an eye on it. And to reiterate that message, well, we're going to repeat that in a minute, what Trent Okerson said, the message for those of you in Mayfield about meeting, if you can walk, we'll repeat that for you here in a second. But in terms of our tornado emergency, in the supercell that is going to be remembered, researched, documented, and remembered not in a good way in our area for a long time, is now in Ohio County in approaching central Kentucky. If you have family or friends outside the Evansville area, certainly something to keep an eye on. But we still do have that active polygon over, I believe that's going to be Livingston County, but I want to give you the all clear here. If you're in Marion, the worst of this has passed you. Still going to keep an eye on this right here. Some hail, maybe some strong winds, could be over 60 miles an hour. That's between Sturgis and Providence. So possible 60-mile-per-hour winds. There we go. Now we're getting the radar out of Fort Campbell. And guys, what do you got?
Hey, Noah, I was going to let you know, National Weather Service in Memphis getting reports that of a tornado in Kenton at, that was at 10:47. Multiple power lines down, trees down, and impassable roads. Some power flashes around Dresden, and that circulation, of course, now passing to the north and northeast of Dresden. In Kenton, Tennessee, 6 to 12 houses totaled, and some entrapments going on with some folks there as well. So, pretty bad situation there in Tennessee. And also, while I've got the mic hot, again, a reminder for folks in Mayfield: if you can walk safely, please head to the fire station, House 1, which is located at 2011 East Broadway Street. There will be buses to transport people to somewhere safe. So again, go to Fire Station House 1, 2011 East Broadway Street to catch a bus to somewhere safe, okay? But again, Kenton, Tennessee, we've had reports of confirmed tornado damage there. That storm is passing through, has moved just to the north of Dresden and is now moving to the northeast near Cottage Grove in Tennessee. It'll pass just to near or north of Cottage Grove. This is your early heads up if you live around Puryear and Hazel. This storm will be heading your direction. And again, this is our situation here where because of the power outage at the National Weather Service in Paducah, we do not have that radar access, and so we're having to rely on some additional radar data. So we're not flying blind, but we certainly don't have the radar guidance that we wish we had on this. But definitely for folks that live over toward the Puryear area, and even up around Murray. Let's be keeping a real close eye on this one.
Say, have you seen what I see on the Fort Campbell rotation? If you look on it, you got it
Yes.
on your radar.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
certainly
it's-
seems like that probably is an act. You have to bear with us, not to repeat over and over again. It's making it hard on us to analyze this without that Paducah radar. But with the best information available to us, here is what you need to know. Cottage Grove to Paris to Puryear, Tennessee. In here, there is very likely a tornado. We're getting winds on the Fort Campbell radar up to, granted, this is off the ground, up to 135 miles an hour. That is several a ways from there. But Cottage Grove, you got to be on the alert. Shelter, cover your head, bathtub, innermost room. Cottage Grove, this is coming to you in 5 minutes.
There is, on the Fort Campbell radar site, there is a debris ball. There's at least a CC.
Oh, there we
pop
go,
on
yeah.
there. Yeah, so
we get that up?
there is some debris on there.
Is there a way we could get that up? Let me try to see.
Let me, here.
Okay, yep.
Let me take over for just a second. While I'm doing that too, I wanted to read off Marshall County Emergency Management called and said residents need to stay off the roads and highways. Emergency crews are trying to navigate and rescue, and the last thing that they need is for folks to be in the way. When asked about confirmed damage, he said that it is widespread and no confirmed injuries or fatalities. But again, no sightseeing in Marshall County. We've got to stay home, let the crews do their job, and yeah, we've got a very strong signature of rotation here in Weakley County. I don't know why in the world that is doing that.
Hey Trent, real fast, we're getting a couple of comments here on Facebook saying that the courthouse is on fire and also that it has been down. So there's something going on with the courthouse also in the Mayfield area. I know we've been talking about that for a while,
Yeah.
but someone said it's destroyed, but also someone has said it is on fire.
Okay, it's really bad. It's really bad in Mayfield. Noah, bear with me here. I don't know why
It's all
this. I don't know why this is popping on here. I'm going to have to click.
So
out
while
of,
Trent's getting that up for us, Cottage Grove, we just heard this from Philip Madison, who works in our promotions department here at the news station. It's bad in Marshall, mostly out Moores Camp Highway, possibly multi-fatalities. That's from Philip Madison, who also happens to work here. So that just came in a minute ago. That's in Marshall. And we'll continue to hear reports of the Moores Camp area. But in Tennessee, bear with us as we get this fixed. Cottage Grove, Tennessee. This is a velocity that is continuing to go on an uptrend. Cottage Grove, Tennessee, you need to be in shelter right now. Puryear, Tennessee, you need to be in shelter right now. We have seen this, unfortunately, too often and too much tonight. Murray proper, this will miss Murray proper. That is a strong rotation that Trent just pulled up here. That's coming out of northeastern Obion. Puryear, you are right in the path. Probably going to pass, it's going to cross 641. So if you know people that are driving up or down 641, they need to stop and let this tornado pass. In terms of Callaway County, it would be my estimation, I think the three of us will agree that there will probably be an extension of that tornado warning for Callaway here momentarily. And when that does, you will hear your wireless emergency alert more likely than not in Murray. You might even hear the tornado sirens in Murray. But as of right now, it looks like this is going to pass south of Murray. So if you hear that in Murray, you may get the warning. Don't be confused. The warning is really for the New Concord area and southeastern parts of Callaway, and that's going to cross over the lake and eventually into northwestern Stewart County. So if you're north of Dover and big picture, this will eventually hit I-24. Now, something interesting about this cell is it's on the leading edge of all this, which would make me believe that it could certainly maintain its strength as it continues. What do you got, Kaylee?
Hey, yeah, real quick on the National Weather Service chat, it says that K Energy in Ohio County just blew up to over 1,500 power outages That just came down about 2 minutes ago.
Thank you, Kaylee. Here in Dresden was hit hard, Trent and Kaylee. Hearing a lot of Dresden hit hard in that feed. A lot of people asking about Paducah. There is nothing imminent for Paducah. There is one more line of storms in southeast Missouri, paralleling Highway 67. We're going to watch, but as of right now, there is no imminent threat. But as Trent drew on here, Puryear, New Concord, Tennessee, there is, at least there has been, it's kind of muddled right now, debris. And there's actually probably maybe even some debris fallout. You might even have some debris fallout out ahead of this. So the blue is the inbound wind, which is over 100 miles an hour. These pixels you're seeing here, granted, by the time the radar in Fort Campbell is hitting that, we're scanning this several thousand feet up. So it's not a true representation of the wind right down at the ground. But that is a circulation nonetheless. To repeat, be sheltered now. Puryear, you've got that coming in about 10 minutes. Southeastern New Concord, southeastern Callaway County, probably shortly thereafter, which would be 10:47, and then we'll see if that holds together heading south to Cayce.
There was certainly some damage around Dresden. In fact, I can't zoom in because if I do, I'll lose the radar from Fort Campbell. That's about as good as I can do. But you see this little area, that's our debris tracker. That area was our debris tracker right around Dresden. We saw that debris kind of fade away as it moved farther into eastern sections of Weakley County. We don't quite have that same, notice right there, there's that kind of green and white area. That's where it did pick up some debris coming out of Dresden, and that has faded away a little bit, but that's just kind of, again, that's the debris tracker. The rotation is still extremely strong here, and this is coming into, passing basically over and just south of Cottage Grove, and is going to be moving very, very close to Puryear, Tennessee. Bear with us, we keep having the radar drop out because we have to depend on the National Weather Service radar out of Fort Campbell right now because the one in Paducah is down. This thing does appear to be on a track that is going to take it very, very close to Puryear, Tennessee. So if you guys are in Puryear or just south of town on 641, you've got to get to your safe place of shelter right now. We're not out of the woods yet. This is an area of Tennessee that has not had much thunderstorm activity yet. So the atmosphere is still very unstable and volatile. Tons of rotation and wind shear here. So if you guys are in that area, let me put a track again on this part of the storm. It's moving to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. And that is going to put it around Whitlock at 11:29, Puryear at 11:32, New Concord at 11:46, Bumpus Mills at 12:05. We have to assume that this will continue to produce rotation and possibly a tornado. It did produce a tornado around Dresden, Tennessee. There have been reports of significant damage there. And this storm, very dangerous, headed toward and just south of the Puryear, Tennessee area. Again, the tornado warning that is in effect here is for an observed tornado with a considerable threat and also hail of around quarter size. That tornado warning goes until 11:45, so another 20 minutes on that warning here in Weakley and Henry County in Tennessee. We also have other storms that we're following. There is still a tornado warning in effect for Webster County, I believe. That's until 11:45. That's a radar indicated area of rotation around Dixon. And we have, as we have to turn a little different radar on, there's a storm here that's in northern Cayce County. This one right now is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 11:45 for damaging winds of 60 miles per hour and hail size of at least quarter size.
Hey, Trent, if you want,
Yes.
I got a little bit of information from the National Weather Service.
Yes.
So about a couple minutes ago, tornadic circulation was crossing into Henry County, and that was passing very south of the Cottage Grove area. And then Lee and St. Francis storm, the storm was showing a bowing structure. That wind threat's going to continue to increase, and also the hail threat is increasing west of Hughes. And that line segment is from Osceola. That's moving west of the Dyersburg area. And then something else real fast, we have possible debris signature just west of the Cottage Grove area.
Yeah, so that's our tornado warned storm that we've been following for quite some time. Just bear with us, boy. This has just been a night that we'll never forget for all the wrong reasons. We've had just a tremendous amount of damage in our area. And again, I know we've got a lot of folks that are trying to help each other out, and we're unfortunately not quite done with this just yet. Right now, our main storm in terms of severity is our tornado warning here in Henry County, Tennessee, as this storm has been showing signs of rotation. I do notice here that there's definitely still rotation, but notice how it's a little more ragged looking right now. Absolutely no way are we saying that there's an all clear just yet, but it's at least a trend that we hope will continue as this thing is getting ready to cross 641. But if you live in Puryear or just south of there in 641 and then over toward New Concord in Callaway County, now is the time to take shelter. If you have a basement, you need to head there. Head to an interior hallway or closet. Put as many walls between you and the outside as you can. We've also had reports from Marshall County, again, asking residents to stay off roads and highways. Emergency crews are trying to navigate their way around for rescue operations. The EMA director there said that there is widespread damage. Right now, no confirmed injuries or fatalities. Also, if you're in Mayfield, Kentucky, if you can safely get there, go to Firehouse 1, 211 East Broadway. There are buses there to help get you to somewhere safe for the night, as we have just had a tremendous amount of damage around the Mayfield area, a catastrophic tornado that has hit that area. We have crews that are out, headed to Mayfield, as well as Marshall County, working on getting information, video, pictures, but it's still, we're having a hard time getting information here just because, you know, we've got folks that their lives have been changed forever tonight. They're trying to pick up the pieces, so we're having, you know, the last thing on their priority list is to get, you know, videos and photos into us. But it's been a very bad night for a lot of folks across our area, and we're not quite done yet. We still have a couple, at least 2 or 3 more hours to go until we can sound the all clear on these storms across the region. We still have numerous storms around, and it will be late into the night until we are able to get the cold front through and sound the all clear. New tornado warning just coming out for Stewart County in Tennessee, and that's for the storm here that's between Puryear and Paris. Let me get you that information. That tornado warning goes until 12:15 this morning, and it is for an observed tornado. This is the damaging tornado that's currently near Cottage Grove, or 8 miles northwest of Paris. It's moving east at 60 miles per hour. So we will put a track on this. And this intense storm is headed toward the Dover area at 11:58. Big Rock at 12:05, and Fort Campbell perhaps by 12:22. Let's go back to regular radar, and I actually want to put the area-wide, the composite radar back on, and show you kind of where we stand with things right now. So we have our tornado warning here in Henry County and for Stewart County. There is a severe thunderstorm warning for Dyer County. That runs until 12 a.m. till midnight, so about another 30 minutes. That's for 60-mile-per-hour winds, as well as quarter-size hail. Tornado warning in Webster County. That is moving out of the local 6 area. And we have a severe thunderstorm warning for northern Cayce County with a storm that is packing some strong winds, possibly some hail of quarter size. That's up around the Sedgwickville, Oak Ridge, Appleton areas there in Cayce County. Put a track on that quickly here as it's moving off to the east-northeast at around 45 miles per hour. So if you're watching from Cobden, this storm may be impacting you at around 12:01, Murfreesboro at around 11:39, in between West Frankfort and Goreville at around 12:08 and 12:22. Okay, so bear with us. We actually just had I believe we just had a power bump here at the station, so some of our stuff is having a hard time right now. Do we have lightning around here right now? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so bear with us. I believe we're still on air, so we'll keep going. So our severe thunderstorm warning here in Cayce County. We'll go back to our Tennessee storm. And check out there is still rotation showing up here in between Puryear and Paris. And there is still a debris signature here. So very possible that we still have a tornado in progress just south of Puryear, Tennessee. This debris signature started around Dresden. It's kind of cycled up and down, and currently on 641, just about 3 miles south of Puryear is where we're currently detecting the possibility of debris being tossed up into the atmosphere from this tornado. On that current path, it is going to go very close to Dover, perhaps just to your north, and likely stay just along or south of the Kentucky-Tennessee state line there in the corner of Callaway County. So if you're on New Concord and Dover, we need to be keeping a real close eye on this situation. But our tornado warning continues here for Henry County until 11:45, and this is for an observed tornado with a considerable threat for this area. We also have a whole slew of severe thunderstorm warnings that just came out. Starting to see a bow echo forming here in southern Illinois. And we have severe thunderstorm warnings now in effect. That includes, let me put the right over to the side so you get a better handle on this. From Franklin County, actually Jefferson County up around Mount Vernon, through Franklin County, Benton and West Frankfort, Williamson County, which includes Marion and Carterville, Jackson County, which includes Carbondale and Marion, and those of you in Perry County around Pinckneyville and DuQuoin. Severe thunderstorm warning here for 60-mile-per-hour winds and possibly an area or two of quarter-size hail. And this storm is moving at, goodness, 80 miles per hour.
Wow.
So let's look at that. Let's double check that. That really is going fast. So when you got an 80 mile per hour forward speed on this storm, you're going to have a considerable wind damage threat. So those of you along Highway 51 and I-57 in Southern Illinois, this one is racing along. Let me put a track on this. Goodness, I wonder if that's right. 80 miles per hour seems, what if they meant 60? Well, we're going to track it at 80. DuQuoin at 1140, Carbondale at 1147, West Frankfort at 1155, McLeansboro at 1210, Galatia at 1211, Harrisburg at 1219, and New Haven at 1232. Let me take a measurement on this. I don't know if 80 is... I'm thinking we're probably closer to 60 miles per hour on that. But at any rate, this thing is going to have a damaging wind threat from DuQuoin to Carbondale over toward Benton, West Frankfort, and Marion in Southern Illinois. So again, that tornado warning, severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 12:15 on Saturday morning, and this is a new tornado warning, and that is out of our area. That is a tornado warning for folks up around Henderson, south of there, so not for our area. Webster County, this is a tornado warning that has been in effect for a while, till 11:45. This storm around Dixon, radar indicated rotation here, that's moving out of our area here in just a few moments.
Hey Trent, real fast, we're getting multiple reports of power outages in Murray, but one person said there is a few people stuck in an elevator at Murray State right now. Okay. Yeah, we've got a lot of lightning on this storm that carries the tornado warning. And again, there is still a signature of debris right here. So this storm, it looks like it passed very close to Puryear, just to the southeast of town. And we lost the data there. So we'll put this into motion. Based on where it is headed, again, we're talking about right up along the Callaway and Henry County line. So let's switch it back over to the velocity. There is still some significant circulation that is off here. It's now about 6-7 miles southeast of Puryear. And it is moving northeast at about 55 miles per hour. So that's going to put it up around Dover by midnight. So you got about 20 minutes. And Big Rock at around 12:07. Just got a, this is from the Kentucky State Police now. Post 1, which of course is just north of Mayfield. They say, quote, Post 1 is currently responding to a severe tornado event that spreads across multiple counties in western Kentucky. There is significant damage reported.
While no fatalities have been confirmed at this time, loss of life is expected. Multiple agencies from across the purchase area are responding, and updates will follow. So I know we've had some folks that probably are having a hard time communicating with Kentucky State Police. They were near the path of this storm, and I'm sure are covered up with reports. But again, they say that significant damage has been reported across multiple counties. No fatalities have been confirmed right now, but they say, quote, loss of life is expected. So not what we wanted to hear, but given the situation that we're dealing with right now, we're just scratching the surface as far as all the damage reports, and we're very much still in rescue mode with this situation across the area tonight. All right, back on radar. Let's see, you have, is that on source 2? Do you have that picture right there?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Okay, let's, we'll stay on source 1 just for a second while Noah's working on some pictures. And our rotation is tightening up now here around the Puryear area. So this is now re-strengthening, and this new update from the Weather Service in Memphis, observed tornado with a considerable threat, and we have had reports of damage and debris being reported in Henry County. So if you live east of Puryear, let's go down for some street level views. Pretty rural area out here. But east of Puryear up toward just south of Freeland, south of New Concord, this storm is going to pass to the south of New Concord. It's going to go over on 49 just near or northwest of Dover and continue on across northern sections of Henry County. This is a considerable tornado threat that we need to take very seriously here. And we also have our severe thunderstorm warning for a considerable wind threat from DuQuoin to Elkville, Murfreesboro. That's moving toward Benton, West Frankfort, and Marion. And this is moving east at about 60 miles per hour. So we will track that toward Carbondale at 11:49, Benton 11:58, West Frankfort at midnight, McLeansboro at 12:18, Harrisburg at 12:28. You want to give me a breather and go through some of the photos that you've got?
We got it. This was taken from on source 2 from Land Between the Lakes. I'm going to read to you this report. This one. I'm hearing my microphone here. Mic check. I'm hearing me now. Hearing me now. So we're getting in more photos than we can go through in a short amount of time. This is from Tina Marie, guys. Look at this. Her house is on Lake Barkley. We are just down from Boyd's Landing. This pic, she sent me a screenshot. This was actually taken, I believe, I think it from a Nest camera or something. It kind of looked like that to me. The pic is looking towards LBL. The canal you see is to the right. Her husband, Wes, got the photo in the tornado as the tornado was moving to more. So how about that for a nighttime capture? And the flash certainly seems to have been from a power flash. That was the tornado that crossed over the Lakes region earlier. Jack Kane is in Graves County right now. Hopefully we can hear from him soon. He is sending back photos. This is one of the photos he has sent back. of significant damage to the Graves Courthouse. Excuse me. Also, the police station in Graves has significant damage. It looks like all of the windows in the entire front of the Graves police station is essentially blown in. The top of the building and the roof seems to have been blown off as well. That's the Graves police station. What you're looking at is in front of the Graves courthouse. This is also from Mayfield. This is by the jail and the courthouse just from the street view. And a couple of other reports from there. Let me read these some more that I've got here. Power out all over the place. We've got trees down. Graves County photos continue to come in of power loss. And as Trent said to you earlier, we'll have him repeat that when he comes back on. I believe Mayfield is opening a shelter for displaced tornado victims at Mayfield High. So I don't know if we've reported that yet, or we're just getting that out now for the first time. Mayfield is opening a shelter. If you're listening in Graves to Mayfield, Mayfield is opening a shelter for displaced tornado victims at Mayfield High School. That we just got out a few minutes ago. This was arguably so far of the hundreds and thousands of photos that we've been sent, at least one of the few I've seen so far of actual tornado on ground. That was looking towards the canals on your right. Might be hard to see, and it's actually remarkable you got this photo because the real only light that's in this photo is from a power flash, which it looks like on the right, or a lightning bolt, but that certainly seems to be more of a power flash earlier.
Hey, Noah, real quick, National Weather Service just came out. They said since their systems are down, a lot of people have not been getting the warnings on the National Weather Service radios since those are down. So just a heads up, your weather radios from the Paducah area will not be working with our warnings here.
Well, that's really good to know. Power's out in Murray and phone's not quite working. Just got that. Just got that from actually a weather watcher at Murray. So the tornado that Trent's been tracking for you for a while now, that now has a tornado warning in southeastern Callaway. You might hear your EAS in Callaway. Trent's going to track that out for you. There is no imminent threat in Murray right now, but this is going to clip southeastern Callaway and go through northern Stewart County. So if you're in Dover or along 49 in Stewart County, now is your time to seek shelter. But for everybody else watching, there's a lot. That is the one storm that is tornadic at the moment. We're not yet to the point of sounding the all clear, but in terms of tornado at the moment, for everybody else who is asking to make this crystal clear, can't sound the all clear yet, but there's nothing else that is super concerning at the moment, which is positive.
That's the first thing positive that we've been able to say for a while, I believe. Okay, so we've got track here. Noah, you're probably gonna have to head to the wall, man. I'll drive radar, but I'm nothing left in the voice. It's gone for the night. So tracking this area of rotation is right along the Callaway and Henry and Stewart County line, headed off to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. It's going to pass very close to Fairview and Bumpus Mills. With we're still seeing signs of at least somewhat of a debris signature with this, and very powerful rotation too. So if you live in Stewart County here, between Fairview and Bumpus Mills, this storm is headed your way in the next 10 minutes. Lafayette in Christian County, 12:16 arrival time for you, and over toward Fort Campbell at 12:24. This storm has had a history of producing damage. It produced damage near Dresden, near Cottage Grove, and near Purrier. I can tell you that the debris signature right now is not as impressive as it was a little bit ago. Hopefully we continue with that. But if you live in Fairview, Bumpus Mills, Lafayette, and Fort Campbell. We've got to be taking shelter right now.
All right, we've got Jack. I got Jack on the phone from Mayfield if you want to
Okay.
hear from him quick live. So
Yes.
Jack, you're live on the air. Go ahead, give us an update. Jack Kane, our reporter, is in Mayfield. What are you seeing, Jack? How are things there?
Hey, yeah. So no, I'm in Town Square right now in Mayfield. We're right by the FNB Bank, which the front was basically blown out. I mean, there is, it's almost indescribable how much damage we've seen in just the short time we've been here. I mean, there is just rubble everywhere. The courthouse here, one of the giant trees out front is completely toppled over. The courthouse is all torn up. Mayfield City Hall, all the glass is busted out of the front. The police station offices are just destroyed. I mean, this is, I was a reporter down in Alabama for a little while. I saw an EF4, the damage an EF4 tornado did down there. This is on par, if not worse than the damage I saw down there. You know, pure, just everybody.
Are there a lot of people out in the streets, Jack, walking around? Is there scenes of people hurt or injured or anything with that?
We've seen some people trying to walk around, get to their houses. You know, there are power lines down everywhere right now. I mean, we're using our camera light just so we can light where we can walk, just so we're not stepping over power lines and everything. You know, first responders are out in droves right now, just trying to move power lines, clean up debris, help people. Roads are basically blocked off. Absolute mayhem here at the moment. You know, I believe at the fire department, they're trying to get people over here just to make sure everyone's safe, just kind of as a centralized location. You know, if you are walking out and around right now, you really need to make sure that you have a light, because no street lights are on. There are maybe a handful of places that still have power. It's also still pouring out here right now, and there's still lightning overhead. Still very, very bad conditions right now.
Jack, are you aware, maybe we'll share this with you so you can forward this to people that are there, that there's a tornado shelter at the high school for displaced victims there?
Is that Mayfield or Grace County High School?
Mayfield High School.
Mayfield High School, okay. If I pass to more people, I'll let them know. That's a little bit of a ways away from us, but we drove in here on the way. I mean, just the damage we've seen to homes, you know, this is summer, it takes a breath away. That's the only way I can describe it.
Hey, excuse me, Jack, it's Trent. Do you know of any reports of injuries or folks that have injuries or fatalities or anything?
I've heard some reports of people at the candle factory here in Mayfield trapped. To be quite honest with you, I don't know the extent of injuries. I don't know. A lot of it is just what I've heard and talking to people in passing, that they've heard this, and you know, they've heard that people are trapped somewhere. It's kind of just all over the place, and with cell phone reception being so spotty, I've tried to call the station several times. I'm amazed this phone call is even working. But no, to answer your question, Trent, I don't have any solid numbers on any injuries or any possible fatalities.
Have you spoken to anyone with any of the officials there, with police, fire, state police, rescue, or is there anything that they're asking of people?
I've briefly spoken to some of the out here. They're just trying to get everything under control. I know they were trying to move some of the inmates out of the courthouse. That's the jail, that is. Otherwise, apart from that, it's more just them letting us know there's down power lines everywhere, and if we're going to be walking around, we need to be safe. Otherwise, we've had pretty minimal communication with them. We're just trying to stay out of the way to let them do their jobs right now.
Okay, gotcha. All right, well, stay safe down there, and thanks for checking in with us, all right?
Yeah, thank you, guys. Thank you for keeping everyone updated. Stay safe.
You bet.
Good deal. Well, in a night full of negatives, I think we'll try to find a positive out of that, at least as of now. There's nobody that's injured there that we know of. Let's hope it stays that way.
Still not out of the woods just yet. Still looking at a tornado warning here for Stewart County. And unfortunately, this rotation is tightening up again. It is quite strong, in fact, right over Highway 49 in Tennessee. This is going to go north of Dover, but not by much. So if you live in Stewart County, north of Dover, this is a pretty rural area out here, but near Bumpus Mills, over toward Watts Chapel, and perhaps, goodness, I mean, this thing right now, if it continues on this track, it's going to be awfully close to Fort Campbell. Goodness. All right. So let's put a track on this and kind of get you the timing. If you happen to be watching from Fort Campbell, this thing's barreling down on you. The forward speed, according to the printout, let's see. I believe we're looking at about 55 miles per hour. So we don't have much time in Fort Campbell. 55 miles per hour, that's going to put it there at around 12:22, so about 20 to 25 minutes. Tornado possibly impacting Fort Campbell on the base. It's going to have to either weaken or it's going to have to change directions. If it doesn't, we've got about 20, 25 minutes. So if you are on base at Fort Campbell, this is your warning. You've got to get to a safe place of shelter. This storm has done damage. In fact, let's check out the debris track, and unfortunately we've got debris now showing up again. Well, it just, the Highway 49 symbol covered it up. There it is. Noah, are you over at the wall?
No, he's not.
Okay. Normally we would be at the wall in front of the camera. The problem is because of the radar outage in Paducah, we have to manually switch back and forth between the radar sites, and it's just easier to stay over here at our station. But there's the debris. It's about 6 miles northwest of Dover, and it's this thing's not headed in a good direction if you live on Fort Campbell.
We've got Kaylee Anderson in Moore's Camp, or at Moore's Camp, along Moore's Camp Highway.
Okay.
Jack is we're gonna try to get Jack live momentarily, so we're gonna get some footage and video, hopefully from Jack Kane. We're gonna try, pending technical workings, we're gonna try to get some video out of Mayfield. A couple of things, Trent, this is not something that we have a graphic for. Had debris fallout. We had the rotation from that 3-state tornado that was seemingly a tornado emergency for hours was so violent that debris was up almost to 30,000 feet. There was debris, we got so lost in the shuffle because we were rightfully so covered in the tornado. There's been debris that's fallen on the ground outside of where that tornado was. So please be very mindful of that. Southern Marshall, Central Graves, Fulton, Hickman counties, that there is debris all over the place and you might not see it. So if you're going to go out walking and try to get something done, be mindful you don't step on something and hurt yourself. Fort Campbell, the way that Trent has drawn this,